Network.
After a much-needed day off yesterday, Dave Tremblay and the Birds are back at it today. Early fielding practice was followed by batting practice, and the Orioles tonight look to snap a 6-game losing streak. The Birds will welcome in the Tampa Bay Devil Rays to Oriole Park. The Birds have won 10 of the 12 matchups head-to-head. It's the Orioles and Rays up next on MASN. It is a lovely Tuesday night in downtown Baltimore, and welcome into Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Tonight, the Orioles welcome in the Devil Rays. It's game one of a 3-game series. And hi again, everyone. Jim Hunter with Rick Dempsey. Glad you could tune us in as the Birds look to snap a 6-game losing streak. And Rick, it certainly has been a tough week for the Orioles. After winning the opening game of this 10-game homestand, it's been 6 consecutive losses, and the numbers reveal as to why the Birds have dropped 6 straight.
Boy, all facets of the game, the Orioles have just struggled. You can see right here on this graphic right here. Look at this team batting average. They just have not hit the ball. Corey Patterson, Brian Roberts were on base all the time. The big boys were driving them in. Kevin Millar was going good at that point. But now you can see the difference in runs scored, 20 versus 70 for the opposition. Runs per game is down. But the biggest thing is the meltdown of the bullpen from the 7th inning on. They are just getting crushed as of late, and therefore the Orioles have no opportunity to come back in these ball games down late, 4, 5, 6, 7, and maybe in some cases 24.
Well, it's a bad combination, not scoring enough and allowing too many. So what the Orioles need is a stopper, and they hope tonight that stopper is Daniel Cabrera, who in his career has dominated Tampa Bay.
Well, he has a spell over Tampa Bay, and I think it really just has to do with his approach to this ball club. He's very aggressive with his fastball, and that's he gets this ball club. They're not patient. They will swing at balls out of the strike zone, and that makes Danny's curveball effective late in the count because they'll swing at balls in the dirt. They'll swing at that curveball that's a little bit off the outside corner, and as long as Danny stays out of the middle of the plate, he has a lot of success with those teams. Now look at this. This is the loss to the Rangers his last time out. In 5 innings, he gave up 9 hits and 6 runs in that game, and who would have known he was going to be the best pitcher of that game for the Orioles?
Well, Cabrera has 9 wins on the year. 3 have come against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Lovely night for baseball. We're just getting started. Stay with us. It's the Orioles and Devil Rays. Lineups at first pitch are next.
What do these properties have in common? They were sold quickly by Alex Cooper Commercial Real Estate. Call Alex Cooper Auctioneers Commercial Real Estate at 410-828-4838 for a private consultation. Ask for Paul Cooper.
Share your next Orioles experience with the Sheraton Inner Harbor. The Sheraton delivers all the action with tickets to the game and helps you relax after the last out. Log on to Sheraton.com/Orioles and plan your ultimate Orioles experience.
Barbecues, a warm breeze, and baseball games mean one thing. The Toyota Tundra Summer Contest is on. Enter to win a Tundra right now. Visit tundrasummer.com. Who knows, you might be chilling in a new Tundra soon.
What do these properties have in common? They were sold quickly by Alex Cooper Commercial Real Estate. Call Alex Cooper Auctioneers Commercial Real Estate at 410-828-4838 for a private consultation. Ask for Paul Cooper.
There's a reason why Miguel Tejada is the best power-hitting shortstop in baseball. Better play him deep, outfielders. The O's meet Manny Ramirez and the Red Sox. The action starts Friday at 6:30 on MASN 2. Be there.
Here's big news on term life insurance. Matrix Direct now offers quality coverage from American General Life, one of the nation's strongest and highly rated insurance companies. American General Life will be there when you need protection most. A 40-year-old man can get a $250,000 policy for under $15 a month. Call now for your free quote. The call is free, the quote is free, and there's no obligation.
Call Matrix Direct for your free quote, 1-800-624-4479.
Orioles Baseball on Masson is brought to you in part by PNC Bank. PNC leading the way. And by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwest.com. A beautiful Tuesday night at Oriole Park at Camden Yards as the Birds welcome in Tampa Bay. This is the final series of this 3-team, 10-game homestand, and the Orioles tonight looking to snap a 6-game losing streak. So take a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for Tampa Bay. Rays come in at 51 and 80. Akinora, Iwamura will lead off. Carl Crawford and Carlos Pena behind them. B.J. Upton in the cleanup spot. B.J. Upton, 365, 8 home runs, and 27 RBIs in road games on the year. Delman Young with Brendan Harris, then Johnny Gomes, Leonard Navarro, and Josh Wilson rounding it out for Tampa Bay.
And the scouting report, the Rico scouting report for Danny Cabrera tonight. Great confidence against this ball club, as we said earlier, 6-0. More aggressive against this ball club with his fastball, which makes him much more effective for his off-speed stuff. And so they just kind of play right into his hands by swinging the bats right at the beginning of the ball game and getting themselves in trouble.
Cabrera tonight making his 28th start and trying to win his 10th on the year. And Iwamura, first ball swinging, fouls it off down the left side. That's back out of play, and it's 0-1. Cabrera 9 and 13. You see the ERA 5.10, still much higher than he or the Orioles would like it, and he's allowing about 5 walks per 9 innings.
You know what I like to see right off the bat, Jim? I think one of the reasons why we were talking earlier, he's 6-0 against this ball club. Danny has a good game plan against this team. Be aggressive with his fastball. So you watch and see he delivers the ball. He gets right back up on the mound. He looks in for his sign, and he goes. And there's no hesitation, no walking around the mound or thinking like he does against a lot of other clubs. This is a good game plan.
2-1 the count on Iwamura. And down and in, ball 3. Now, one thing about this Tampa Bay team, you really do need to challenge them because they are far from patient. They lead the American League in striking out. They are the only team in the league that has struck out more than 1,000 times. So if you pitch around them, if you nibble, you're doing them a favor. And there's a strike 3-2.
It's kind of funny because, Jim, you know, you and I have sat up here before and looked at this ball club and how much that the Tampa Bay Devil Rays are improving this ball club from a position player standpoint. Their offense, this Iwamura, is a much better leadoff hitter than I've seen them have since they've been in the league. And these good young players they're coming up with, Delman Young, and Crawford has already established himself, but Carlos Pena back in here again. And, you know, they're just getting a lot of good young guys. B.J. Upton is another one, you know. You got to watch out for this ball club. If they ever get any pitching, they're going to step over a few teams in this division.
There's a line drive to right center field. That's a base hit. Corey Patterson trying to get to it to stop it. Nice effort, but it gets past him. Iwamura makes the turn at second, and he will end up at third with a leadoff triple. So Cabrera got the count to 3-2, couldn't put him away, and Tampa Bay with a runner on at third and nobody down. Let's welcome in Amber, our Tesco Technologies update. Amber.
Well, Jim, not a good start for Daniel Cabrera. The Orioles really need him to carry them tonight because in the last 6 starts, Orioles starters are 0-3 with 3 no decisions, and Dave Tremblay reiterated that earlier today.
You know, the amount of games we've lost in a row, let's have a well-pitched game today and give us a chance to win. If you don't get a well-pitched game, you're not going to have a chance. That's baseball. That's baseball.
Well, we'll see if Daniel Cabrera gets back on track. The good news is, as you guys have already said, he does very well against the Devil Rays. Jim?
All right, Amber, thank you very much. Carl Crawford batting. 0-1 the count. Iwamura at third. And Crawford takes low, 1-1 the count. Well, Amber, talking about the Orioles starters during the 6-game losing streak, and it has been a tough stretch. There are the numbers overall: 3 losses, 3 no decisions, and a 6.75 ERA for the starters over the last 6 games. The Orioles have not had a win by a starter in a week. That was when Eric Bedard beat Texas Rick last Tuesday. That was the opening game of this homestand. And the Orioles have not had a win yet, nor a win from a starter, obviously.
You know, we were hoping last Sunday that Eric Bedard would continue his stride for 10 consecutive wins. It didn't work out. But, you know, this game is a game of percentages, Jim, and you just know that sooner or later they catch up with you somewhere. Eric Bedard had 9 straight wins in a row. and he just did not have a very good outing. He has not struggled that much since the beginning of the season. Hadn't had a game like that. He just kind of felt in the air here that sooner or later he was going to have one of those kind of games that just came at the worst time.
2-2 on Crawford. Iwamura at third with none down. And it's fouled back. Crawford, 26 years old. This is a milestone game for Carl Crawford. It is his 800th game as a member of the Devil Rays, and he passes Aubrey Huff, who is now with the Orioles, for most games ever played in Devil Rays history. And he's only 26 years old.
They really haven't quite figured out how they want to use Carl Crawford in this offense yet. You know, he's very effective against everybody with his speed and his power. He can hit anywhere in the lineup. They've used him as a leadoff hitter. They weren't successful doing that. They're using him now in the number 2 slot. Earlier in the year, Jim, you saw him in the number 3 slot. It just doesn't seem to be a spot for him to work in the midst there, and they're still juggling this lineup around, although they got a bunch of good young players. Not one has stuck out to go in a particular spot in the offense that has been working for Tampa Bay. So it's constant turmoil for them as to figure out where they're going to play all these guys.
Crawford fouls it back, stays alive at 3-2. Well, you mentioned all the young talent, an infusion of young talent. And maybe it's that they have simply too many young players all at once.
Well, sometimes, yeah, you need some chiefs. You need a chief and you need some Indians. And so far they've just got a bunch of Indians and nobody steps out yet, you know, at you and says, well, I'm going to be the number 4 guy. Well, actually, Carlos Pena has done that, but they weren't counting on him at all. He was a signee going to spring training trying to make the ball club. Now he's pushing A-Rod for the home run lead in the American League. So I was so angry when we had an opportunity to get Carlos Pena. We needed a first baseman with power, and we overlooked him.
So Crawford battling here, 3-2 the count. As Cabrera has Iwamura at third and nobody out. Line pass to Hada. That's a base hit, and Tampa Bay gets the lead. Iwamura comes in, so Crawford with a very good at-bat. Fouled off several pitches, worked the count to 3-2, and he picks up his 68th RBI on the season, and the Rays have a 1-0 lead.
Well, here's a shot off the bat of Carl Crawford. I mean, Miguel Tejada just has no chance to break on this ball whatsoever, and then as he hits the ground, he kind of jars his neck a little bit, you know. One thing they can't afford to do is to have Tejada back on the disabled list again with a stiff neck or a pulled muscle or something, but he looks like he really kind of jarred his shoulder and his neck.
Well, Tejada telling Cabrera, I got you on a comebacker. Marty Foster, the home plate umpire, looking into the Tampa Bay dugout. I'm not sure what's going on over there. It seems that Carl Crawford maybe forgot something he uses when he's on base. Of course, he is the top base stealer in the American League, and yeah, it looks like he has one of those wraps to protect his hand when he slides.
You know, Jimmy, Miggy's out there rubbing his back and everything. I know he really jarred himself. We get a chance to see the replay again. You'll see it was kind of a high dive after this ball. Watch how high the line drive is and watch how high off the ground he is when he goes for it. And then when he hits the ground hard. That was a straight up and a straight down at that point. That was usually you dive your lower to the ground so you don't have that far to go, but that was a tough dive for Miggy.
So 2 hits to begin the first. Tampa Bay with a 1-0 lead. And here is Carlos Pena, who was in the number 3 slot. And wide 1-0. Toyota League leaders, American League stolen bases, the top 3 in this game tonight. Crawford 41, Brian Roberts 37, and then Corey Patterson tied with Ichiro Suzuki, each with 36, tied for third.
You know, Danny really has to watch Carl Crawford here because he's always, whenever Tampa Bay played well against the Orioles, Crawford and Baldelli and those guys who could run were always a thorn in their side because they were running every chance they got, especially at second base. Danny's not real good at holding runners on, and if Tampa Bay is trying at all to break this streak, they're going to be aggressive every chance they can be, so they got to watch him now.
Well, this is not an ideal combination for the Orioles. Cabrera has allowed 15 stolen bases on the year. Crawford doesn't go, and the pitch is popped up. Shallow left, Tejada out, Bynum in. And Bynum calls and makes the catch, 1 down. So Carlos Pena retired, one away. Let's get a look at the Centric Business Systems defense tonight behind Daniel Cabrera.
Well, the defense tonight is Freddie Bynum is the new one in left field. Patterson, Markakis round out the outfield. Millar is back at first. Roberts, Tejada, and Mora in the infield. Behind home plate, Hernandez trying to regain himself in all aspects of the game for him, too. And Danny Cabrera on the mound.
One down. Here's B.J. Upton. Cabrera trying to minimize the damage here. Crawford runs. He had a huge jump. The throw to second base is not in time. So Crawford steals his 42nd, and he's at second base with one down, and again a huge jump off Cabrera.
Well, you could see that Danny is real slow at delivering and getting rid of the ball. Hernandez doesn't have much of a chance. Really, this has been one of the best throws that Hernandez has made in the last couple of weeks. A lot more balance than he's shown, and he puts the ball right on the money at that time, but just too big a jump by Crawford to throw him out.
Right back to Cabrera. Crawford was going on contact. They have him in a rundown, and Melvin Mora tags him out. Big break for the Orioles as Crawford was too far off the bag, and Cabrera alertly looked that way, and two men down. That is a huge out.
Boy, that's what we were talking about earlier. You know, once these guys get on second base, they're going to try to steal Crawford right here on a ground ball back. Danny, who's not well known for defending his position very well, he makes a catch over his shoulder, and Crawford gets caught in the rundown. You can see it again right here. Watch him reach back. That's really a pretty good job of Danny. You talk about him making some improvements in his defense. He squared up, he caught the ball, got it to Melvin. Melvin makes the tag, and they get the out.
And it takes the runner out of scoring position as Crawford is out on the fielder's choice. And it brings up Delman Young. So Cabrera's an out away from getting out of this very inexpensively. Delman Young probably is the leader for the Rookie of the Year in the American League. Just 21 years old, takes ball 2. He leads all Major League rookies in base hits. He has 149, and pretty good numbers overall.
Pretty good hitters in that Young family. Dimitri Young again, too, somebody that comes in and just tears up the Orioles. I don't ever want to see Dimitri Young again. Switch hitter, you look at him, you say, oh, this guy can't even run to first base. You watch him sometime. He is all over the walls. He's in the gap. He's down the lines. He's always rounding first base on his way for 2. What a hitter.
Delman Young is hitting 4 straight games. Upton at first with 2 down. Swings through it on 3-0, 3-1.
You were just talking about, Danny being able to pitch out of this inning, Jimmy. One thing the Orioles haven't done in these last 6 games that they've lost is they've failed to stop, to have damage control and just give up 1 run when you have a bad inning. They've had 2, 4, 9, 10, 8, 6. They've given up big numbers, big crooked numbers through all of those ball games, not just 1.
Well, it's imperative for a starter to have, first hitter management, which leads to inning management, which leads to game management. And when you get a leadoff triple, the odds are that runner's going to score, so you try to keep it to just that. And there is ball 4 to Delman Young. So Young will go to first, forcing Upton to second, and Tampa Bay has 2 on with 2 down. And Cabrera will face his 6th batter here in the first inning.
These first 2 innings of Danny's ball games have all been the trouble time for him. He's given up a lot of runs. You can see it right here. Walks most in the American League with 88. And you'll see Kazmir, who we'll see later on in the series. He's got 77. Those 2 guys have really been first and second most of the season. And on down to Batista, who's got 66. But Danny has, even though he's gotten a little better in inches and by inches, he still isn't really totally where he wants to be yet.
This is down and in to Brendan Harris, 1-0. Harris has found the home with the Rays, 27 years old, and Leo Mazzoni is going to come out for a chat with Daniel Cabrera, who has allowed 2 hits. He's walked a batter and trails 1-0 here in the first inning. Cabrera trying to win his 10th on the year. He has 40 wins in his career, 40 and 44. In his big league career with the Orioles.
Leo Mazzoni out to talk to him about a lot of things that he is trying to improve upon. And what we're going to see right here is watch Danny as he gets right to his release point, and then he swings and starts to fall off. See how far he is off to the first base side? And it's very, very tough to stay behind that pitch and make it do the kind of things you want it to do. You want movement on the ball. And that's very hard for Danny to find his release point the first couple innings of every ball game because he's fallen off so drastically.
Harris hits it towards Millar, who has a funny hop, and he'll run to the base unassisted for the out. So Cabrera gets out of it. Rays get a run. Here come the Birds in the bottom of the first.
I'm on the 415.
Let's see what kind of plane you'll be on today.
Step over there and spin that wheel. Come on.
Come on, big plane.
Woo, big plane, big plane, big plane. Big plane, big plane, big plane. No. Small plane.
On Southwest Airlines, you'll never fly in a small plane. We guarantee every seat on every flight is on a big, comfortable Boeing 737.
You are now free to move about the country.
It's the Chevy Model Year-End event, where you'll find the best offer ever on the all-new Silverado. 0% APR for 60 months on Silverado half-ton extended and crew cabs for well-qualified buyers. Just click and go to Chevy.com to find the Silverado you want, then get to your Chevy dealer before it's gone. That's right, well-qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 60 months on 07 Silverado half-ton extended and crew cab models. Click on Chevy.com, then see your Baltimore area Chevy dealer.
You got to be here.
For the view.
You gotta be here.
For the fun.
For the memory. This is more than baseball. It's great time with the family.
For the excitement.
Orioles baseball at Camden Yards. Call 888-848-BIRD.
Tampa Bay gets a run on the board in the top of the first. Here come the Orioles in the bottom of the first. Southwest Airlines starting lineups for the Birds. Brian Roberts, Corey Patterson, and Nick Markakis. Miguel Tejada in the cleanup spot. 3 home runs and 6 ribbies so far on the homestand. Kevin Millar and Aubrey Huff. Melvin Moore and Ramon Hernandez. And Freddie Bynum rounded out for the Birds.
And here's your Rico scouting report for Jason Hammel. Not much confidence as a starter. He's had 16 major league starts and is yet to record a win as a starter. Struggles with the command of all of his pitches. He has a tough time going for 5 innings in a ballgame because he gives up a lot of runs early in his games.
Now the 24-year-old, his second stint with the Devil Rays on the year. When he was here earlier, he was used in relief. Then went back to AAA, and since he's come back, he's been in the rotation. Brian Roberts leads off for the Birds, takes a strike. Brian has hit in his last 3 games. Average now at .308 with 10 home runs. Down and away, 1-1 the count. Hammel, a 10th round draft pick of Tampa Bay in 2002 out of Treasure Valley Community College in Oregon. He's a big guy, 6'6", 200 pounds, out of Port Orchard, Washington. 1-4 on the year and 1-10 in his big league career. He did have some time with the Rays a year ago. Roberts, good cut, fouls it back 2-2.
You know, Brian has just been on another one of those tears, Jim, where, you know, he's on base that first at bat every single game. If it isn't a double, a triple, or a walk, he is consistently having good at bats, first AB of every single ball game, and setting the table beautifully for the rest of the players.
3-2, he works the count as he's so adept at.
I really enjoy watching him hit because he is never afraid to go to 2 strikes at any time.
Hit towards the corner, down the line. That is a foul ball. So the count to 3-2. And of course, Sunday night over at ESPN Zone, Brian held his 2nd annual Brian's Baseball Bash to benefit the Children's Hospital at the University of Maryland Medical Center, and it was outstanding. Big auction. There you see some of the items from the Orioles, including an Eric Bedard jersey. Hey, there's a Jim Palmer baseball.
Jim Palmer, you saw it.
Miguel Tejada. There's some cleats. Paintings of Brian Roberts, and outstanding live auction. There's Brian mingling with the fans, and He's active. He doesn't just show up. I mean, he's there. He's there from the start to the finish, mingling, signing autographs, playing games, part of the auction. Does a lot to help the kids.
He really does. I mean, a lot of people showing up. It's even better than it was last year. I mean, they do such a great job at organizing the whole thing over there at the ESPN zone. Wonderful place to be. A lot of sports memorabilia.
High fly ball, shallow right center field. Center fielder Upton takes charge, has it for the out, and one down. Centric Business Systems defense tonight for Tampa Bay.
For Tampa Bay in the outfield tonight, DJ Upton in center, Crawford in left, and Young in right. Delman Young, that is. Pena, Harris, Wilson, and Iwamura round out the infield. Behind home plate and still struggling to get that batting average up, Deoner Navarro, and on the mound tonight, you got Hammel.
There's Joe Madden, the skipper for Tampa Bay. Came over from the Angels organization. Corey Patterson takes low, 1-0. Madden now in charge of a major league team after being a longtime lieutenant.
Kind of a culture shock, really, being with the Los Angeles Angels through those last few good years. They won a World Series. He was with Mike Scioscia while he was doing that, and then got his opportunity to manage in the big leagues and has struggled with Tampa Bay to win with this ball club, and it's just got to be a tough uphill grind for him.
Patterson to center field, Upton back, reaches up, and he can't play it, and it bounces in play. Patterson looking to go for three, and he'll make it. Upton reached down, couldn't pick up the baseball, and Patterson ends up at third with one down. So we'll see how they score it. Chevy drive of the game. He nearly hit it out.
It was another high fastball for Corey. He's one of those untypical left-handed hitters that likes the ball up, and you see B.J. Upton trying to find this ball, and then when he picks it up, he drops it again. And that gives Corey Patterson an opportunity to go to third base, and we're starting the game just like Tampa Bay did with a man on third base.
Well, the Orioles a chance to tie it in the first. Runner at third with one down, and Nick Markakis up. And it's low, 1-0. Markakis at 290. He's had a tough homestand, as have the Orioles collectively. And a good eye takes ball two. 2-0 the count. Now there's no error posted on the scoreboard, so that means that has to be a triple for Corey Patterson as Markakis takes a strike. So Patterson picks up his second triple on the year, and he's the tying run at third. Markakis, 80 RBIs. 16 of those coming this month. Deep to right field, back it goes, that has a chance, it is gone! Home run for Markakis, and the Orioles get the lead.
Well, we said it in the Rico scouting report, Jim, you know, that so much Jason Hammel having so much trouble early in his games. Tough time staying in the ball game 4 or 5 innings, and this is another one of the problems. You're going to see this pitch right down the middle of the plate here. Perfect fastball for Nick Markakis to just put the head of the bat on. He's trying to pull the ball to get the runner in with less than 2 outs and gets a lot of it. And you see it right there up on the flag court. Just absolutely crushed this ball to right field. And now the Orioles have the lead again at 2-1.
So the Coors Light cold hard blast gives the Orioles the lead. Still only one down, and here's Tejada. And he takes a strike. Markakis home run number 14 now has 82 RBIs, and the triple by Corey Patterson got it going. Well, that's what you like to see. Cabrera allows a leadoff triple. Tampa Bay gets a run, but Daniel able to get out of the inning without allowing a second run. And now the Orioles behind Markakis have given Cabrera the lead.
Well, you just can't miss a pitch like that, Jim. In that situation, you're looking for a pitch, you know, middle of the plate, maybe a little in to pull that ball, whatever you have to do to get it to the right side. And it was just, couldn't have been served up any better than it was. And Nick Markakis just absolutely crushed it. Beautiful swing. And boy, where it ended up was nice too. Up on the flag court.
Tejada's hitting 4 straight games. One of the few hitters who actually has pretty good numbers on the homestand. Markakis now has 6 hits on the homestand, and 3 are home runs. And Tejada goes deep to left field. Back it goes, and back-to-back go the Orioles. Tejada hits his 15th. It's a 3-1 game.
Miggy now has his 4th home run of the homestand and is really picking up the ball club. You're going to see it right here. Another shot again. Look at this ball right down the middle of the plate. You just can't miss pitches like that for Tejada, who this guy can hit in his sleep. I don't care if you wake him up at 3 o'clock in the morning and ask him to get a base hit. He can do it. But you certainly don't want to leave any pitch. Curveball, fastball, cutter, slider, forkball, changeup, whatever you got. You don't want to leave it near the middle of the plate of him. He can hit it out anywhere.
Hitter's best friend, the hanging breaking ball. So back-to-back home runs, and the Orioles have a 3-1 lead on Hammel. Pitching coach Jim Hickey out for a chat. Well, Markakis hits his 14th. Tejada hits his 15th. And here's Kevin Millar, and still only 1 down. Millar's at 262. So the Oriole bench now feeling better about things. There's a strike. Hammel now has allowed 9 home runs on the season in 46 1/3 innings. So Markakis tied for the team lead in home runs for 1 batter. Tejada took it right back.
Well, the defense kind of picked up Danny in the first inning. There was an opportunity for Tampa Bay to put more than 1 run on the board, but actually Danny helped himself out with a good play on defense, a ball back up the middle. You just don't often see Danny field balls back up the middle. He was able to do it this time. Got the runner in a run down at second, saved himself, or saved them, a scoring opportunity at that time. And you know, the defense got him out. Damage control, only 1 run, and now the Orioles are up 2.
Millar called out on strikes. Pitch on the outer part of the plate. 2 down. First strikeout for Jason Hammel.
Well, we're going to get a look at this last pitch right here. Kevin Millar, who's really got a pretty good eye up there at home plate. You could see right now he knows that pitch is a strike. He was obviously looking for a breaking ball, because you never see Kevin Millar take a fastball down the middle of the plate.
2 away for Aubrey Huff, the former Devil Ray, who has been the Orioles' hottest hitter on the homestand. Aubrey DHing tonight. He has 12 home runs, 60 RBIs, and outstanding numbers against Tampa Bay on the year. 4 homers and 9 RBIs.
Well, this is really a good time for Aubrey Huff to catch this ball. He's been swinging the bat great in the month of August. Has really picked up a lot of bat speed over this period of time. For what reason, I couldn't tell you. But now to have to face Tampa Bay, who he's already got great numbers, hitting over 370 against this ball club. Is this just what we need right at this point right here, to pick the spirits up a little bit, have Aubrey have a real good series here, and then go from there?
Huff takes a strike, 2-2. Well, Aubrey has really broken out in a big way during the month. 6 of his 12 home runs have come in August.
That doubled his output for the whole first part of the season. Up until that point, up until August.
Center field, Upton is there, and he has it for the out, and the inning ends, but not before the Orioles get back-to-back home runs. Nick Markakis hits his 14th. That gives the Orioles a 2-1 lead, and Tejada follows. Birds with a 3-1 lead after 1.
just announced. Now, in time for Labor Day, Toyota's Lots on the Lot event is kicking into high gear and giving you lots more ways to save. It's the final days of 0% APR financing on the new full-size Tundra. Or get up to $3,000 cash back on regular cabs. Lease a tough Tacoma 4x2 for as low as $199 a month for 36 months with $19.99 due at signing. Hurry, because there's lots to miss on the lot at your Toyota dealer. And soon.
So, tell me in your own words a little bit about Geico.
Well, it's one-stop shopping, really, Geico.com. You can get a free rate quote, you could compare coverage options, you could file a claim, pay your bill online, even, have a little chat with an associate if you need help.
What about you? Can they chat with you?
I'm here for Geico, love. Let's not delve into my personal life, eh?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
You gotta be here to feel the excitement.
You gotta be here for all the stuff to do.
For the food.
You gotta be here
All the memories.
Your family and Orioles baseball.
What more could you ask for?
Orioles baseball at Camden Yards. Call 888-848-BIRD.
Well, if you're looking to hear the Orioles on radio tomorrow, be sure to tune in to Jack 102.7 FM to catch the Orioles and Devil Rays middle game of the pregame series, as well as in-depth pregame and postgame coverage. So if you're out and about, the game will not be on 105.7 HFS tomorrow. Instead, it can be found on 102.7 Jack FM. There's Johnny Gomes leading off in the second, and throughout the remainder of the season, several games will move over to Jack FM. Tomorrow on 102.7, then back on 105.7 HFS for Thursday, as well as Friday night. Then on Saturday, 102.7, and Sunday back on HFS. So if you're looking for Joe and Fred, that's where they'll be.
That's where they'll be. And Boston in for the weekend series. So if you haven't got your tickets yet, you better get them soon, because a lot of Boston fans are going to be looking for them.
There's a roller out in front of the plate. Cabrera has to hurry. And just in time to get Gomes. Wow. Ramon Hernandez really didn't see that ball very well. He gave up on it, let Cabrera have it, and Daniel did a very good job to recover. One down.
One of the things I really like about watching Kevin Millar, watch this throw to first base, and he cheats so much. You'll see Danny will come out here, he'll field the ball, and he'll throw to first. Now watch Kevin's foot. It'll come off the bag long before the runner gets there, and he gets a lot of calls that way from umpires on balls that could work in favor of the runner. But he knows how to play that bag down there. He's really good at cheating.
Outstanding footwork by Millar. Cabrera gets the first out. Here's the owner, Navarro, the catcher. Fouls it back, 1-1. Navarro, Rick told you about his struggles on the year, hitting at .205, 6 home runs on the season. 5, however, have come since the All-Star break.
Barely over the Mendoza line, 5 points.
1-1 is taken high, ball 2. Navarro has been around in his young career. There's a strike right down the middle, 2-2.
I just kind of wonder, how is it possible for a switch hitter to hit 200? It's, it just works too much in his favor, never having to hit against a pitcher that throws on the same side that you hit.
And he got him with a breaking ball. Good pitch for Cabrera, first strikeout, and 2 men down in the second inning. Well, this week is the perfect time to try out Oriole Park's newest fan favorite. It's the new all-you-can-eat left field club. You'll get a left field club seat with access to the exclusive club level, plus an all-you-can-eat pass for hot dogs, nachos, popcorn, peanuts, ice cream, soda, and more, all for just $35 in advance, $40 on game day. Now, tickets are going fast, very popular feature, so pick up the phone, 888-848-BIRD, or online at Orioles.com. Here's Josh Wilson, the number 9 batter, 2 outs, none on. Wilson has hit in 3 straight games. Cabrera misses with a breaking ball. Tampa Bay beginning a stretch tonight in which they will play 15 consecutive games within the division against the AL East. There's a strike, 1-2.
Well, this is where they've had most of their success against the AL East. So hopefully they'll be able to continue that and get out of this slump, get away from these other divisions for a while.
There's a ground ball to first. Millar has it. He'll run to the base unassisted. Cabrera has a 3-up, 3-down inning. Middle of the second, the Birds by 2.
You get just 24 hours every day to work towards your goals. Just 24 hours to get one step closer to your dreams. And at PNC, we're always searching for ways to help. To give you solutions designed to uncomplicate your life. So you can navigate the next 24 hours. PNC, leading the way.
The first sport utility vehicle. The first full-time four-wheel drive. And now, Jeep introduces the industry's first lifetime powertrain warranty. It's the best warranty in the business, and no other car company matches it. So come and check out our largest lineup of Jeep vehicles ever with our exclusive lifetime warranty. Now, well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months on Jeep Commander.
If you manage a business, you know by now that document management doesn't just start here, it starts here. At Centric Business Systems, we provide office technology that is designed to help you better manage your document workflow and increase overall productivity. For over 40 years, local businesses have trusted Centric for hardware and software solutions supported by Centric's award-winning local service. Team up with Centric today. Centric features sharp products.
A 3-1 game. The Orioles have the lead, and Rick and I and our entire crew would like to send our best out to one of our colleagues, Jim Rebell, one of our fine cameramen. They're your colleagues waving to you. Hi, Elaine. How are you? Jim, everybody thinking of you as you recuperate at the University of Maryland Medical Center. We want you back as soon as you can. It's not the same around here without you. So please get well soon and come on back. Hi, Eddie. How are you? And here's Melvin Moore taking a fastball inside. This is a family here, the Masson family, and all these fine people work very hard bringing these telecasts to you night in and night out and spend a lot of hours together. Moore takes a strike, 1-1. Hernandez and Bynum will follow. Melvin, 13 home runs. He is trying to find a stroke. Towards right center field, B.J. Upton has a play. Ranging to it, has it for the out and 1 down. So Moore retired for the first out. Well, please join the Orioles for a very special night on Thursday, September 6th, as the Birds will pay tribute to the Negro League's 1932 Baltimore Black Sox. Don't miss the celebration of the 75th anniversary of the team. The Orioles will wear special throwback uniforms and hold a pregame tribute honoring the Black Sox on their 1932 first-place finish. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD, or just go online, Orioles.com. Now 1 down. Here is Ramon Hernandez. Fouls it off and gets the mask of the owner, Navarro, 0-1.
Well, you got to see a pitch right here. I mean, Ramon has been struggling so much to get the head of the bat on the ball, and there you see another good fastball for him to hit. And he just certainly can't seem to find his swing. I mean, mired in probably the worst slump he's ever been in professional baseball.
Looks at a high breaking ball, 1-1. A 1 out, none on for Hernandez. And it's low, 2-1. Here are the numbers Rick referred to. He is 0 for his last 24 with 5 strikeouts. So no hits in his last 24 at-bats, and it's even deeper than that because he has just one hit in his last 40 at-bats.
I talked to him around the batting cage today. I said, are you ever going to get another hit again? And he goes, man, I am trying so hard. He says, I will buy a hit. If they would let me buy it, I would buy it. And he said, I'll even do as much as try to bunt tonight. And there you saw Iwamura playing back so far at third base with less than 2 strikes. He had his opportunities, and now I know he was lying.
Hey, who does he think he is, Gerald Laird?
True.
Ground ball towards second base, backhanded by Harris. He'll turn and get it to first. Hernandez retired and 2 men down. So the ball hit sharply, but right at Harris.
And he's so mad. Here's a guy you have a tough time getting him to first base. He ran almost to the right field corner. He was so angry after that ground ball.
Well, Hammel retires the first 2. Ramon back to the bench now 0 for his last 25. And 2 down in the Orioles second for Freddie Bynum, who had a big day on Sunday, went 3 out of 4, and Dave Tremblay gave him another start. Swings through it. Freddie brings a lot of energy to the lineup.
Boy, it's so much fun to have him on the ball club, number 1, in the clubhouse, number 2, and in the lineup doing well, number 3. I mean, he's just a lot of fun. What a character to have on the ball club.
Swings through the off-speed pitch, and it's 0-2.
Keeps everybody loose. He's got a big smile. He just has an affinity for saying a lot of funny things that just make your day so much nicer. He's a fun guy to have around.
And he's down on strikes on 3 pitches, so back-to-back changeups gets Bynum. Orioles go 3 up, 3 down. The Birds have the lead.
Just announced, now, in time for Labor Day, Toyota's Lots on the Lot event is kicking into high gear and giving you lots more ways to save. It's the final days of 0% APR financing on the new full-size Tundra, or get up to $3,000 cash back on regular cabs. Lease a tough Tacoma 4x2 for as low as $199 a month for 36 months with $19.99 due at signing. Hurry, because there's lots to miss on the lot at your Toyota dealer, and soon.
It's wrong to let chicken be bad. At Wendy's, we serve only the tender center cut in our chicken cordon bleu sandwich with Swiss cheese and Black Forest ham, paired with a creamy frosty float. Chicken's good again.
That's right.
Nearly 2 centuries of handcrafted beer tradition. 6 generations of family pride. Endless years of taste testing, refining, and perfecting our beer. And it all comes down to this. 1 single bottle of Yuengling Traditional Lager. Yuengling Traditional Lager. Taste it, and you'll know.
Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwest.com. By Verizon Wireless, America's most reliable wireless network. Make the switch today. And by Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield. Top of the third, Orioles have a 3-1 lead, all the scoring in the first inning. Top of the lineup coming up for Tampa Bay. Akinora Iwamura, who started the game with a triple. Takes ball 1 from Cabrera.
Well, the fans have seen a lot of scoring in this ballpark on this homestand. And this game just started out the same way that 30-3 game started. Actually, we've had 5 hits tonight, Jim. 2 home runs, 2 triples, and a single already.
Pitcher's trying to settle in, and the hitter's got the best of it.
If you're an offensive person, boy, you ought to be here at Camden Yard tonight.
Daniel trying for his 10th win. He's been on an unusual streak since the All-Star break as he takes that pitch down and in. So Iwamura has the count even up at 2-2. Since his first start following the break, he has alternated wins and losses with each start, and Iwamura takes strike 3 on the inner part of the plate. Second strikeout for Cabrera.
So Danny seems to be settling in pretty well like he usually does against Tampa Bay. And here's what I really like. Danny staying behind this ball just longer. Look at the tail on this fastball at the very end. Iwamura gives up on it. It comes back in, catches the corner. The umpire doesn't miss it. Danny's got a strikeout.
There's ball one to Carl Crawford, who singled a drive and a run in the first. Tesco fact, B.J. Upton, Carl Crawford batting .352 on the road this season. And the rest of the team, .253. Good-time numbers for Crawford, who's now hitting 6 straight games with his RBI single. Good pitch, 1-2. Cabrera looks like a different pitcher, and he has since that bouncer by Upton on the comebacker to him when he got Crawford in the rundown.
One of the reasons, look at this delivery. You see it. He falls off to first base so much. He's really struggling now to try to keep that front foot on line so that he can deliver the ball, at least right here. Now watch this release point, you see, and now he pivots and he almost turns his back to the hitter, and that's not good. That's not what he really wants to do.
Crawford can't catch up to it. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 away. So Cabrera has 3 strikeouts.
And here we're going to see it again. This is the breaking ball. Now he can throw this wherever he wants. This club's going to swing at this pitch. We talked about it early in the ballgame. They're not real patient late in the count. If Danny can just stay ahead early, he can have a very easy ball game with a low pitch count just by throwing pitches just like you saw a little bit out of the strike zone, because they are not going to take it.
2 quick outs. Here's Carlos Pena, the number 3 hitter. 29 years old. Cabrera now has struck out 3. He has walked 1. And there's the pitch count. He's at 50 pitches. He's the pitcher on the staff that Dave Tremblay and Leo Mazzoni don't mind allowing to go a little deeper and a little higher with the pitch count because he's so strong.
You know, that he is. He can throw a lot of pitches. And, you know, it doesn't seem to affect him to be in the 6th or 7th inning of the ball game with 100 pitches already, because he can go a lot more. He can probably go 130 pitches. So he's a very, very strong young man. But see, at a time like this now, I mean, I know Hernandez is mired in a little bit of a slump. He's 0 for 25 or 6 right now. But his main focus ought to be Danny right now in this ball game. If Danny gets out of whack, even with 2 strikeouts in a row, he can walk 2 or 3 and give up a home run. You never know with him.
And there's a 4-pitch walk after back-to-back strikeouts. So Pena down to first base, and that brings up B.J. Upton, who has home run power, representing the tying run.
So he's really got to stay on top of Danny right now. Go out to the mound, talk to him about overthrowing. Don't get to the point where you're trying too hard now. Nice and relaxed. Pick up my glove. Let's stay in the strike zone early in the count, and then we can go down, balls it out.
Upton fouls it back, looking for a fastball. B.J. Upton, just 23 years old. He was Tampa Bay's first-round pick in 2002. And the hitter on deck, Delman Young, was their first-round pick in 2003. Slider misses low, 1-1. When you factor in that Carlos Pena, who's on first base, was a first-round pick of Texas in 1998, they have 3 consecutive first-round picks batting consecutively with Pena, Upton, and Young. And Carl Crawford, who bats second, was a second-round pick, so he was a high draft pick as well. A little low, 2-1. Hernandez goes out in front of the plate, doesn't go all the way to the mound, just yells something at Cabrera.
You see, he should have kept on going. This is what I have always wanted him to do, is to be a lot more communicative. Get out there and talk to Danny. Take control of his game for a while until he really gets a feel for the major leagues. I really don't feel he has that at this point yet.
I guess it was inside, ball 3. So all of a sudden, a runner on at first and a 3-ball count with 1 strike on Upton.
See, and you got to be thinking about B.J. Upton, who's proved to everybody now this guy's a major league hitter. He's got some power. He's got 20 home runs, second on the ball club in home runs, and you can't throw the ball right down the middle of the plate with him.
Ground ball towards right field. That's in there for a base hit. Roberts was shading up the middle. Markakis gets it back in, so Upton has a base hit. He's now hitting 5 straight games. And after back-to-back strikeouts to begin the inning, a walk, now a single, Tampa Bay has 2 on with 2 down.
And this is how Danny loses control of his games, Jim. He just, gets behind in the count. He starts overthrowing. He's feeling good about those first 2 strikeouts. And that's why Hernandez has to take control right away. The minute you see 2 bad pitches in a row, go to the mound, get him back on track again. Don't let him go 2 hitters and his problem. Because now you got Delman Young up there with an opportunity to give their ball club the lead in this ball game. And he's got enough talent and enough power to do it.
Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back 0-1. Delman Young has 10 home runs on the year. Of course, the power is usually the last thing to come around with a young hitter. He's 21 years old.
Well, he just got that fastball up and in on his hands, and he was so late. I'm hoping that he'll throw that fastball again, but he doesn't. He's got this breaking ball. Now, this is where you've really got to watch the body language of the hitter. He was so late on that first fastball that tells me my next fastball is going to be in on his hands. It's going to be higher, a little bit higher. Let's see if he'll swing at that pitch a little bit more up in the strike zone. And now you're up 2 strikes and no balls. You can do anything you want.
Another breaking ball, it's outside, 2-1. So he got ahead on the fastball and back-to-back breaking balls. So now 2-1 on Delman Young.
Now Delman's just going to sit back and look for a fastball in this situation because you've already just now told the hitter you're afraid to throw him a fastball.
There it is, and he swings through it. 2-2.
That's the fastball up. And that's where the next pitch is going to be, a hair higher underneath his hands, but just a hair higher. See if he'll swing at it. He can't catch up with a fastball right now. That's what the hitter just told me.
So the question is Cabrera reading the bat, or more importantly, is Ramon Hernandez reading the bat?
Yeah, see, Ramon's the one that's got to help more than anybody. Because you already know Danny is a thrower right at this point. He has not become a major league pitcher yet. He is a thrower right now. He will do just about anything Hernandez wants him to do. That's why Ramon needs to go. And this is a good job on Ramon's part right now. Go to the mound and talk to him about what he wants under this certain. Everybody's got to be on the same page. And I hope they're talking about the fastball up and in right now.
Well, Ramon back behind the plate. Melvin Mora came in as well to listen in. And Melvin now telling Tejada what was discussed.
Well, if he throws him a breaking ball, Jim, here, a slider or something that's over the plate for a strike, he risks a chance of this guy really hitting that ball a long way.
Breaking ball, swung through it. So good location there as it broke down and away from the swing. Cabrera gets out of it. He eventually strikes out the side. So walk, a base hit, but 2 left. Cabrera and the Orioles, as we head to the bottom of the 3rd, have a 3-1 lead on Tampa Bay, game 1 of this 3-game series.
Music, GPS navigation, videos, email, internet.
You think they ever put phones like these on sale?
Yeah, when pigs fly.
Or maybe sooner.
The Verizon Wireless Red Hot Deal Days are finally here. Get your family any of these fully loaded phones for a price anyone can afford. But hurry, only through Labor Day. Verizon Wireless.
The word duh. Meaning, it's obvious. It's a complete no-brainer. Like getting a great deal on a great car. Cue the duh. The Hyundai Big Duh sales event.
Lease a 2007 Hyundai Azera GLS. Awarded J.D. Power & Associates Most Appealing Large Car for 2 years running for just $249 a month.
I am your idea. Color me. Get me noticed. Make me shout. And stand out. Give me Rico color. That always works. I am your idea. Make me brighter. Make me shine. I am your idea. Get me in there. Make it happen. In flying colors. It's you and me, and here we go. With Rico.
Ramon Hernandez and Daniel Cabrera talking it over on the bench. Cabrera got out of that jam. He allowed a 4-pitch walk after he struck out back-to-back batters, then a single, but he came back strong against Delman Young. Brian Roberts leads off for the Orioles. Bottom of the third, takes a strike. Brian flied out to center field on a 3-2 pitch, leading off in the bottom of the first inning. Jason Hammel on the mound for Tampa Bay tonight. There's a strike. Roberts doesn't like the call, and it's 0-2.
Well, that just couldn't have been any more of a perfect pitch than he made right there. It just barely licked the outside corner and had a lot of movement down and away, and he hasn't been throwing that pitch so far this game.
And it's high. Well, if the Orioles could have asked for a better matchup tonight, trying to snap this 6-game losing streak, would have been hard to find one. Jason Hammel has the highest earned run average in the American League in the month of August. As Roberts pops it foul near the dugout. And that will be out of play as it bounces on top of the dugout. His earned run average in August is 10.42.
You're not going to win a lot of ball games with an earned run average of 10.
So the Orioles trying to snap this 6-game losing streak. Have a pitcher on the mound who is struggling even more so than they have over the last week. There are his numbers before and after the break. Before the break, he was a reliever. And this is low 2-2. He's got 16 major league starts without a win. It's the longest start of a career streak for a pitcher since the Athletics' Mike Moeller went 20 consecutive starts with Oakland from 93 to 97 without a win. Roberts checks his swing, and it's 3-2.
I had a chance last night, Jim, to go to Norfolk, Virginia. The Orioles were off. I had an appearance there, and I watched Tampa Bay's AAA team, Raleigh-Durham, play against Norfolk Tides. And on the mound was a guy who looked a lot like Danny Cabrera, 6'9". Nyman was his name. And he looks like that he's going to be one of the pitchers of the future. He threw a very good ball game against their ball club. Big guy, power pitcher, 95, 96 miles an hour. Gave up 2 runs late in the ball game, but boy, does he look good.
Daniel Cabrera, 6 feet 9 inches tall. So Brian Roberts, after falling behind 0-2, works the walk. And here's Corey Patterson. Roberts runs, and he will have the steal. As Navarro dropped the ball trying to exchange it. So Brian Roberts stops his streak.
Boy, there's just no hop, skip, jump for Brian Roberts this time. Just a straight lean and go, and he gets a good jump. Navarro drops the ball. Brian with an easy stolen base again. And now they've got to be careful about him stealing third base, which you fall asleep, and he'll be on that third base bag in a heartbeat. They've got the shortstop drawn in to try to keep him a little closer, but that doesn't help a lot of times.
Patterson lead on the swing, 1-1. Corey got the Orioles going in the first inning, as with 1 down, he was able to triple to deep center field and then score on the home run by Markakis, who waits on deck. For Roberts, you saw his 38th stolen base. He had gone 11 consecutive games without a steal. So he breaks that streak here with a stolen base in the third inning. High fly ball, shallow left center field. Upton moving over. The left fielder Crawford calls him off, and he makes the catch for the out. The 1 down, and Roberts stays at second base. Well, Nick Markakis in the first inning, Rick, got the Orioles going.
He really did. He gets his fastball down the middle, and he does what he's supposed to do with it. He deposits it on the flag court. Tejada, another pitch, nice hanging, breaking ball. He hits that one 20 rows deep in the left field. The Orioles jump off to a quick 3-1 lead, and that's what they need to do. Just everybody just keep hitting. for about 5 or 6 innings till they just get into that bullpen in Tampa Bay, and then the rolling should go pretty easy.
So Roberts at second. He's running towards third, and he's going to have it easily. What a jump he had on the pitcher, Jason Hammel. The secondary lead, then he took a third lead and then took off.
It's just amazing to watch Brian Roberts run bases and the kind of jumps that he gets. You're going to see it again. Watch it, a little skip. There it is. If you don't watch Brian Roberts, he gets the best jumps anybody I've ever seen. Look at this. Look at this. He knows right away they're not going to look. You can't throw him out. And what amazes me, Jim, is they know he's going to run, and they don't hold the ball on him. At first base, he darn near fell over at first base, leaning towards second, and they still didn't step off on it.
1-1 on Markakis, so Roberts picks up his teammate, Corey Patterson. Corey couldn't get him to third with his at-bat, so Brian just steals the base. So now fly ball can get a run in, and Tampa Bay has to play the infield in. Ball and a strike on Markakis. Ground ball, base hit left field. Roberts will score. Markakis has a 3 RBI night. Well, there's a manufactured run, a walk, a stolen base, another stolen base, and an RBI single against a drawn-in infield.
Well, Nick Markakis has to feel like he's in baseball heaven hitting behind Brian Roberts, because as easily as Roberts and Patterson both steal second base, they steal third base. All you got to be is patient enough up there to give them an opportunity to steal, take 1 or 2 pitches, take a look. And you know how good Brian Roberts already is at taking until he gets 2 strikes. As Nick Markakis ought to have finished the season with 130 RBIs if you just give those guys enough time to move around the bases.
Well, he's up to 83, leading the club. Here's Tejada. High pop, first base side, foul ground. Pena overruns out of room.
It's just fun to watch because you know he's going to steal. I know he's going to steal. And it's amazing that the opposition down there on the field doesn't know it.
Or they're just unable to stop it.
Well, all you have to do is hold the ball and let Brian lean till he falls down, till he gets himself out. And now, you know, that sounds funny, but if you hold the ball long enough for some guys, they'll lean so far you can throw over there and pick them off.
Hammel gave him 1 look at second base, and Brian took off. 0-1 on Tejada, throw to first, and Markakis back.
You got a veteran pitcher will look at Brian, then look back to the mound, and then look back real quick and stop Brian. And if they don't do that, he just continues to go. Now, sometimes if you wait long enough after that first look, you can just step off and pick him off because he's going to get the best jump you've ever seen.
Off the end of the bat to left field, Crawford moves in on it and has it for the out, and 2 men down in the Oriole third. Well, make sure to get your copies of the Orioles Ripken Hall of Fame publications on your next trip to the ballpark. For just $15, you'll receive the Orioles 2007 Media Guide, which features Ripken on the cover and a complete biography of his career inside, as well as the 3rd edition of Orioles Magazine, which includes a 50-page special section with comprehensive coverage of Ripken's weekend in Cooperstown. The publications are available at any program or novelty stand here at the ballpark, as well as at the Orioles store on Utah Street. Kevin Millar takes strike 1, 2 outs. Markakis on at first base. Nick being held by Carlos Pena. 4-1 game. Markakis has 3 of the 4 RBIs. Markakis draws a throw. Nick does have 16 steals on the year. Orioles now with 115 stolen bases as a team. 0-1 on Millar. Grounded towards third. Iwamura has it. Long throw across in time to get Millar, and the inning ends. But the Orioles manufacture a run as Brian Roberts comes in on the Markakis hit. 4-1 Birds.
For a limited time, we're offering 0 down, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit. That's right, 0 cash due on delivery on the all-new Volvo S80, the luxury car that treats life like the greatest luxury of all. Sign your name and drive away. It's that easy. Our sign and drive sales event is the perfect time to go to a Volvo retailer. We know you'll hear the answers you want.
Lease a 2007 Volvo S80 for $489 a month for 24 months. 0 due at signing.
Last season, only 4 starting pitchers threw more strikeouts than innings pitched.
It's a sign.
Daniel Cabrera. 148 innings, 157 Ks.
Here's the pitch.
Strike 3, batter.
The O's scuffle with J.D. Drew and the Red Sox. The series starts Thursday, September 6th on MASN. Be there.
Now on DVD, it's MLB Bloopers, the funny side of baseball. Get ready for all the hits, misses, and some things we just can't explain. Jam-packed with pranks, practical jokes, and bloopers. Featuring your favorite stars from Major League Baseball. MLB Bloopers, the funny side of baseball. Now on DVD.
And we get another look at Danny Cabrera helping himself out on the mound tonight with a good defensive play on a shot back up the middle. He throws to Melvin Moore, gets the runner in a rundown, tags him out. Carl Crawford really helps himself out on a good 2-strike pitch with that good moving fastball, and there again with the slider down the way. Delman Young going down on strikes with an opportunity to drive a couple in for Tampa Bay.
So 63 pitches through 3 innings. Here's Brendan Harris, takes low. Gomes on deck, then Navarro for Tampa Bay in the 4th. Broken bat bouncer to third. Melvin Moore gets an in-between hop, bobbles, but recovers and gets his man 1 down in the 4th inning. On Tuesday, September 11th, the Orioles will be hosting their final T-shirt Tuesday of the season. It features one of the team's most popular players. First 10,000 fans 15 and over in attendance against the Angels receive a Kevin Millar T-shirt. Plus, it's bargain night, so all upper reserve seats are just $8. For tickets to Kevin Millar T-shirt night, call the Orioles 888-848-BIRD or online at Orioles.com. One down. Here's Johnny Gomes. Gomes hit a ball out in front of the plate that Cabrera pounced on and got him at first. It was a good defensive play by Daniel. Johnny Gomes 4 for his last 15. One part of the game that Tampa Bay can hurt you is with the home run. They are 4th in the American League with 144 home runs. What Joe Madden would like to see is a little bit more consistency and a little better on-base percentage.
Yeah, somebody to get on base in front of those home runs, because they've had an extremely high amount of home runs, solo home runs this year. I think they lead the American League in solo home runs.
Gomes fouls it back. They're going after it on 3-0. Well, 96 of their 144 home runs have been solos. And there's a walk.
You know what? I know this is a little thing, Jim, and maybe you didn't see it on the ground ball to Melvin Moore because he was bottling the ball as the runner was running to first base. But Brendan Harris was not running hard to first base. And what he didn't know was once he took his eye off of Melvin Moore, Melvin bobbled the ball. Had he run hard to first base, he probably could have beat that ball out. Now they've got 2 men on base and a chance to really get a rally going. But you know, we're going to see this again. Now watch this ball here. He bobbles this ball. Now watch Harris is just cruising down the line. He's not running hard to first base and probably would have beat that ball out had he done that. And these are the reasons why teams snowball and don't get better, because players, they just can't give you 100% every night when they're mired losing. It isn't in their mind to do the little things that it takes to win ball games. That was one.
The 0-1 to Navarro's high. Cabrera has struck out 4. He's now walked 3 with the walk to Gomes. And Melvin Moore benefiting from Brendan Harris not busting it down the line. Well, the Orioles now set up for a double play to try to end the inning.
Well, so did Danny Cabrera. He benefited too. Otherwise, he'd be hitting with 2 men on right now.
There's a bouncer to first. That's foul. A 1-2 on Navarro, who has struggled to keep that batting average above 200. Daniel Cabrera 3-0 against Tampa Bay this year and 6-0 in his career. Gomes runs and the pitch is down and in. Hernandez can't play it cleanly and Gomes has a stolen base. His 7th on the year. Good jump, and he picked a good pitch.
Yes, he did. He actually did, and there it looked like a Brian Roberts, except not the same speed that Brian Roberts gets it done. But Danny's not even paying any attention to him. Ramon Hernandez not blocking the ball. He's got to be backhanding that ball and trying to make a throw to second base. And it's the little things, Jimmy, the little things.
2-2 pitch, high fly ball, shallow right. Markakis charging in on it, called off by Patterson. Corey has it for the out, fires back in all the way to third base. So 2 men down on the fly ball out by Navarro. There's the center fielder taking charge. Although it looked like Markakis had a very good angle on it, but the center fielder calls and takes anything he can get to. 2 down. Brings up the number 9 batter, Josh Wilson, with a runner at second and 2 down. Ground ball sharply hit the third. Melvin plays a tough hop and gets it to first in time for the out. 1 out walk and a man left, middle of the 4th. 4-1 Orioles.
It's the final days of Ford's model year clearance. It all ends September 3rd. Just announced. Get 0% financing for 60 months or up to $4,007 cash back on F-150. It's your last chance to save big on America's best-selling trucks. Get best-in-class towing and payload. And get 0% for 60 months or up to $4,007 cash back on F-150. Ford's model year clearance ends September 3rd. Visit your local Ford dealer.
There's always something good inside. You just have to find it. And now, find something brand new inside. Introducing the new McSkillet Burrito, now with steak. Tender, juicy steaks seasoned with grilled onions and everything good about breakfast, all inside a warm tortilla.
You gotta be here.
For the view.
You gotta be here. For the what?
For the memories. This is more than baseball. It's great time with the family.
For the excitement.
Orioles baseball at Camden Yards. Call 888-848-BIRD.
Well, please join us again tomorrow night for more Orioles action. Steve Traxel will be on the mound against Tampa Bay's James Shields. Middle game of the 3-game series. Coverage on MASN begins at 6:30. With those extra presented by Chrysler Jeep Dodge, followed by game coverage at 7 o'clock. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN. Dave Tremblay looking on from the bench. The Orioles have a 4-1 lead. Here's Aubrey Huff leading off against Hammel. Mora and Hernandez will follow. Aubrey first ball swinging, pops it up. Wilson, the shortstop, calls, and in shallow left field has it for the out. 1 down. Aubrey Huff is 0 for 2. He was flied out to center and now popped up to short. Slow walk back to the bench. Hey, when you're the DH, now he's got to wait for the whole lineup to turn around again. Saw one pitch and he's back to the bench.
It was a slow jog to first base on that fly ball, and it was a slower walk back to the dugout.
So Aubrey's 0 for 2. Here's Melvin Mora. Flied out his first at bat. Melvin 4 for 21 on the homestand. Ground ball up the middle. There's a base hit. Josh Wilson was really overplaying more to pull the ball, and Melvin was able to hit it up the middle for a single on the shortstop side of second base.
Well, I don't know what kind of a book they have on Melvin, but it shouldn't be one that shows Melvin pulls the ball so much. So I don't understand that defense, but that's okay with me. They ought to play 3 or 4 of them over in that corner and give Melvin the whole middle and right side.
Well, Melvin has a base hit. Now it's Ramon's turn to try to get a base hit and break out of his slump. Ramon grounded out in the first inning, and he's now 0 for his last 25. High fly ball right field. Delman Young is there, and he has it for the out. 2 men down. So it continues for Ramon Hernandez, who is 0 for 2 on the night. Hammel now will go to work on Freddie Bynum and try to end the inning. Orioles got 3 in the first and 1 in the third. Tampa Bay got its run in the top of the first. Rays had a 1-0 lead before the Orioles came to bat. Go to first, chases Mora.
We were going to try to throw a little highlight package in there of Ramon Hernandez at that, but we got here's the windup, here's the pitch, here's Freddie Bynum, and that's all we got.
First ball swinging.
We didn't get to show you anything.
Bynum takes a strike at the knees. He struck out his first at bat as Hammel got ahead of him, as he does in this at bat, and then back-to-back changeups. Bynum swung through. Orioles have 5 hits in the game. Tampa Bay has 3, and the Birds have the lead. And again, a throw to first, and Mora back easily. Tampa Bay as a club has the highest ERA in the American League. They're at 5.68. Joe Maddon has watched his pitchers put a lot of pressure on his hitters all year. And if you put that in perspective, with that team ERA, Joe Maddon needs his hitters to score 6 runs per night to have a chance to win.
You know, one of the books on this ball club from early in the season, Jim, I remember they were talking about it, was to be patient, go deep in the count, and hope that the Tampa Bay pitchers will get themselves in trouble with high pitch counts early, and you can get into that bullpen. And once you get into the bullpen, they knew that there was going to be a lot more success.
Center field off the bat of Bynum. Base hit, a man left. We'll head to the 5th. 4-1 Birds.
It takes a certain kind of person to appreciate this level of performance and technology. We like to call them Type A's. Don't miss the Acura Chance to Advance sales opportunity. Acura. Advance.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on 2007 Acura models for well-qualified customers.
Eric Bedard. Career highs in wins and innings pitched. Career low ERA and WHIP. And 171 strikeouts. Strike 3, batter. The O's battle Big Papi Ortiz and the Red Sox. The action starts Friday at 6:30 on Masson 2. Be there.
In 1899, after issuing over 600,000 patents, the United States Patent Office said, everything that can be invented already has been. Here we are, 100 years and millions of patents later. Hi, I'm Bob Sousa of InventHelp. If you have an idea or just an improvement to an existing product, call the InventHelp people. We've helped over 10,000 inventors get patents through our low-cost patent referral program. So don't wait. Give us a call today. There's no obligation, and we're here to help.
And back with your Chrysler Jeep Dodge starting pitcher comparison, you see Danny Cabrera holding a little bit better with 1 earned run, damage control in the first inning, better defense. He's only given up 3 hits. 3 walks is still not good. 4 strikeouts is, but Jason Hammel not having a problem with the walks, but definitely having a problem leaving balls in the middle of the plate. The Orioles have out-homered them at this point, 2 in the first inning.
Well, Iwamura leads off for Tampa Bay, top of the lineup. 3rd time in this game he's led off an inning. Swings for a fastball, and it's 0-1. Iwamura, Crawford, Pena for the Devil Rays in the 5th. Cabrera has struck out 4, walked 3, as Rick just showed you.
I am so impressed, Jim, with the influx of very good Japanese players coming to the United States now and doing a great job. This is just another one of those guys. Akinora, Iwamura getting his feet wet in the big leagues here in the United States for the first time. Just doing an outstanding job for this ball club, Tampa Bay. And some other of his hometown teammates, Ishiro Suzuki from Seattle, another outstanding hitter. Kenji Jojima, outstanding catcher and good hitter too. So we are really getting a lot of fine Japanese players in the big leagues now.
Swings through a slider, good pitch for Cabrera, bad pitch to swing at. So Iwamura's down on strikes and 1 away as Cabrera picks up his 5th strikeout.
And you get a chance. We talked about Danny staying out of the strike zone when he's ahead of the hitters. And again, this team is just in a bad habit of swinging out a lot of bad pitches. So there's no sense in really trying to throw them a strike when you're ahead in the count. And that's as good a game plan as it is when you're trying to get ahead of players. Some teams, you just don't have to throw the ball over. Texas was one of those teams early in the season. Of course, they came in here and beat us 30-3 when we threw the ball over the plate, but you didn't have to. And that was another Danny Cabrera game there, too. He gave up 6 in that game.
Off the end of the bat down the line, that'll be back in the crowd, and it's 0-2 on Carl Crawford. Tampa Bay's all-star this year, 26 years old. Came in 6th in the league in base hits. He now has 158. Just didn't get a piece of that. That pitch was sailing up and away. Carl Crawford out of Houston, Texas.
You know, you talk about teams and habits, Jim. And, you know, in order to get out of something like, you got a lot of good young players that will swing at a lot of bad pitches and strike out in tough situations, which takes the heart out of the ball club in the middle of a rally, is swinging at bad pitches. But you think Carl Crawford, he struck out 99 times and he's only walked 31 times so far this year. And every guy that's a productive hitter, and look at Johnny Gomes, 81 strikeouts, 20 walks, 85 strikeouts, and 36 walks for Harris. I mean, when you see that big a difference, what is good for a ball club is acceptable is when you strike out as many times as you walk. That's a good ratio.
Pitch is low, 2-2. Well, Tampa Bay now has 4 consecutive batters in their lineup, each having struck out more than 100 times on the year. I mentioned they are the only team in the American League with more than 1,000 strikeouts on the season. Cabrera struck out 5 so far on the night.
How about Delman Young, who has struck out 103 times and has only walked 22 times. Now, they're never going to be a good, consistent offense if they don't start thinking. And watch Danny Cabrera. Here he is again. Here's another breaking ball, a little bit down and in on the strike zone. You see the Hernandez catching that ball just before it breaks into the dirt. Another bad pitch. So watch his delivery again. A little bit more on balance this time. Still falling, but, you know, that like, you know, the pitching coach Leo Mazzoni and Jim Palmer have been talking about trying to get him to square up a little bit more. And it is a long process. When you're 6'9", it is not easy to coordinate your body at his age.
So Crawford has now struck out twice. He has 101 Ks on the year. Here's Pena. First ball swinging to center field and deep. Patterson back on it. At the wall, it is gone. Onto the sod farm. So Carlos Pena with his 31st home run. And that cuts the Orioles' lead to 2. What a pickup for Tampa Bay. Now has 87 RBIs and gets Tampa Bay back within a couple.
Well, I give the credit to Carlos Pena right there because that ball was up in the strike zone a little bit. Not up all the way, but still moving away from the hitter, and he drove it to center field where he was supposed to.
Pitch taken for a ball. B.J. Upton, Toyota League leaders, solo home runs in a single season. Pena and Aubrey Huff with 20. Aubrey Huff also had 19 solos in 04. Pena adds to the solo total for Tampa Bay. Cabrera misses down and in, 2-0 on Upton. Upton has a single in 2 trips. There's a strike, 2-1.
That was Carlos Pena's 31st home run of the season. I'd have to say that was a pretty good find for Tampa Bay. Just signing him out of spring training and trying to find out if he can make the ball club.
Ball 3, 3-1.
He would look good in orange and black.
3-1 on Pena. Upton rather, and there's ball 4. Well, Pena, as Upton jogs down to first base, he's the 5th player over the past 25 years to have a 30 home run season after being a non-roster spring training invitee to camp. Dave Kingman hit 35 with the Athletics in '84. Albert Pujols hit 37 with the Cardinals in 2001. John Jaha hit 35 with Oakland in '99, and Jose Guillen hit 31 with Cincinnati and Oakland in 2003. Well, Pena joins that list. He now has 31 home runs. Cabrera's now walked 4. Upton on at first with 2 down, and here's Delman Young.
What do you think the first pitch is going to be, Jim?
It was a breaking ball low.
Now, last at bat, you'll see the same exact situation. 2 outs, nobody on. Of course, this time Carlos Pena hit a home run, but we're in the same situation. He walks B.J. Upton, put another guy on base with 2 outs. And the first pitch to Delman Young was, remember that fastball up underneath his hands? And he swung at it. That might have been the first pitch I would have called again because I don't want him to get himself in a hole here.
Tampa Bay has gone 3 up, 3 down only once on the night. Upton goes, pitch is taken low, throw to second base, and safe. At second base is Upton. His 14th steal on the year. Tampa Bay has its 3rd stolen base in the game.
He did. You know B.J. Upton's going to be running in this situation right there. He just gets too big a jump on Danny Cabrera, and Hernandez, who's really set himself up to make a good throw to second base, got rid of it quickly, but still more of a recoil fall. Watch him in this spot right here. As he releases the ball, he falls backwards that way. Now, that's not good momentum going to second base. He needs to be following through with that ball. He needs to start moving before the ball gets to him. That's the bottom line right there.
So Upton has his 14th. And it's 2-0 on Delman Young. Hard hit ball and a base hit in the right field. Upton being sent. Here's the throw for Markakis. Not in time. Upton scores. So the stolen base helps get a run for Tampa Bay. A walk, a stolen base after 2 down, and Delman Young comes through, and it's a 1-run game.
Well, we're going to see it again here. Now he gets the fastball down in the strike zone. Inside outs it just past Brian Robertson to right field, and Nick Markakis, who made a decent throw. It's not on the money. Otherwise, we had a play. But it tailed off at the very end, and they're able to get the run across home plate.
Well, it's a 1-run game. Here's Brendan Harris. There's a strike. Well, Cabrera was fortunate. The first 3 walks did not hurt him, but this one in the 5th inning does. As Upton draws a 2-out walk, steals second, and scores on a base hit by Delman Young.
Well, there's probably a good chance that Delman Young, if he can steal any bases at all, is going to get a decent jump here, too. At some point in there, maybe with 2 strikes on the hitter, they will try it. Because it'll be an opportunity for them to try to tie the ball game up. But Delman Young still has 7 stolen bases on the year, so it's worth a try. So I hope Hernandez is keeping an eye on this.
Another pitch bounces in, 2-1. The Tampa Bay now has had 9 base runners through 4 2/3 innings. It's been one of the challenges for Cabrera this year, is trying to keep down the base runners per game that he allows. There's a bloop towards Tejada. Broken bat, Miggy has it, and the inning ends. The Tampa Bay comes up with 2. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. It's a 1-run game.
Bold, powerful, unique. Of all Nissan's lines, this is the one you've been waiting for. The bottom line. The once-a-year sales event with great model year-end deals on every capable Nissan sport utility vehicle and minivan. Like a $249 per month lease on either the Nissan Murano or Pathfinder. Get to your Nissan dealer now. This event ends September 4th, and that's the bottom line.
Nobody said this was going to be easy.
Now, see, if Geico.com had taken that approach, instead of telling everyone it's so easy a caveman can do it, I wouldn't be having an existential meltdown right now.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hey, let me show you the crib. Turn it on. Paparazzo, please.
In the heart of all the excitement that is Baltimore, the Sheraton Inner Harbor is the perfect place to hold all your important events. Whatever the occasion, the Sheraton helps you conduct that next big meeting and impress that next big client. You don't just stay at Sheraton, you belong. The Orioles wrestle with the Red Sox. The series starts Thursday, September 6th on Masson. Be there.
Well, if you don't watch Brian Roberts, he'll steal your wallet if he has to. And what he does, he walks at first base. Watch him lean. He leans. He gets a good jump to second base. No attempt to stop him whatsoever. He steals second. Now third base. He just basically walks in there. Nick Markakis with an opportunity to drive the run in with a ground ball up the middle. Ends up getting a base hit on top of it, and the Orioles have their 4th run.
And right now, that run, the manufactured run, is the difference in this game, as Tampa Bay came up with 2 in the top of the 5th here. So it's 4-3, and here's Roberts leading off. Patterson and Markakis will follow against Jason Hammel. Brian flied out his first at-bat, then the walk and the run scored in the 3rd. He's now scored 87 runs on the year. Fouls it back on 1. Brian flied out to center field his first at-bat. Good eye, takes it low, 1-1. Hammel deals, and there's strike 1 and 2. One of the most important statistics for a starting pitcher is how many base runners do you allow per 9 innings? Because obviously the fewer men who get on, the fewer chances you have to score, unless of course you hit a home run, as Roberts pops it up shallow left, Crawford in, and the left fielder's there, and he has it for the out and 1 down. Well, tickets still remain for the Boston Red Sox final trip to Camden Yards this season. The Orioles host the Red Sox September 6th through the 9th, and good seats are still available for each game, so don't miss the Orioles and Red Sox. The final games at Camden Yards this season, tickets are just $10. That's where they start. And they're going fast. So call the Orioles 888-848-BIRD or online at Orioles.com. But when you look at base runners per 9 innings, as Corey Patterson comes up, that'd be a good look for you. And Corey takes a strike.
The Mohawk. Is that what they call a Mohawk?
That was a Mohawk.
All right.
There it is.
I like it there. I prefer a little color to that. I might make it blue.
How about orange?
Okay, that would go with the outfit that the kid's wearing. That's nice.
Patterson 1 out of 2. He tripled in the first, flied out in the third. But you talk about base runners per 9 innings, and Hammel is allowing 17 base runners for every 9 innings he works, which means he has very few easy innings as Patterson fouls it off. He's pitching from the stretch a lot, and obviously the more runners who get on, that's more opportunities for your opponent to score as Juan Salas begins to get loose. Now Cabrera is almost in that category as well. Daniel's allowing an average of 14 base runners per game. The big winners in baseball, you'll look year in and year out, there's somewhere around maybe a base runner per inning, so about 9 per game,
about
maybe
9
10
or less, right?
But you have 2 pitchers here tonight who have a tough time because they pitch with so many runners on base. Check swinging a breaking ball.
Well, the difference, between Hammel and Danny Cabrera, too, is Danny Cabrera, considering the fact that he puts so many people on base, he does it via the walk. But the batting average against Danny Cabrera is not very high. In fact, he's one of the tops in baseball with a batting average against him. But Hammel is exactly odd. Not only does he walk people, too, he has a very high batting average against him anyway, which is evidenced by the fact that he has not made it to the 5th inning very many times in all of his starts.
Well, Patterson takes a strike. He's out. That is strikeout number 3, and 2 men down for Nick Markakis.
Well, there's another fastball, and I think Corey Patterson knew it right away because it was right down the middle of the plate. It didn't have a corner. A lot of the plate, and like Kevin Millar earlier in the game, just walked away from home plate knowing it was a strike.
And Markakis takes a strike. Nick 2 out of 2, his 44th multi-hit game on the year. Jason Hammel has now struck out 3. He's walked 1 in the 1 walk score. Breaking ball misses low. Markakis a 2-run home run in the first, his 14th RBI single in the third. Breaking ball stays outside, 2-1.
You know what scares me about these games, Jim, that just went through my mind too, is that when you allow a team like the Devil Rays to stay close, and we said it earlier, this game being a game of percentages and stuff, and how we beat them 9 times consecutively here at Baltimore. And you get closer and closer to that one game they're going to win eventually. It's when they stay this close to you by the 5th inning, I start to think something weird's going to happen, an error or something like that to give them the lead and break the streak. You hope it doesn't happen, but you start to think negatively about it. You're hoping that the Orioles don't allow them to stay within 1 run of them through the course of this game.
Markakis takes wide, ball 3, a full count on Nick with 2 down. Orioles trying to snap the 6-game losing streak. Now the 4-3 lead in the 5th. Markakis to left field. Crawford back on it. And just in front of the warning track, he has it for the out. So Jason Hammel, after his team got him back in it, a 3-up, 3-down inning in the 5th.
Flying out of BWI Airport for business? Southwest Airlines isn't just for short flights anymore. We offer nonstop flights to Chicago Midway, Denver, Houston Hobby, Orlando, Phoenix, San Diego, and other destinations across the country. You wanted more nonstop flights for business, so we're flying more nonstops than ever before.
You are now free to move about the country. It's finally here, the Dodge Model Year-End Clearance. The perfect time to grab life in the Dodge vehicle you've always wanted, like the all-new Nitro and Grand Caravan with stow-and-go seating and storage. Now's the time to get some of our greatest offers of the year. Now get 0% financing plus bonus cash plus 4 tickets to the Dodge Dealers 400 at Dover September 23rd when you purchase. Add that to the best warranty in the business, our exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty. And that's an offer no one else matches. Hurry, the Dodge Model Year-End Clearance ends soon.
Turf's up at Laurel Park as the fall meet opens Wednesday, September 5th with free admission, a free live racing program, and great food and drink specials. Enjoy live thoroughbred racing Wednesday through Saturday with 40% of the races on the turf. Host time, 1:10 p.m.
Oh, when it's time to play, and you're looking for some fun. Oh, yeah, it's Laurel Park, fast track to fun.
Well, here's our Gecko summary of the game today. You see Danny Cabrera, 5 innings pitched, only 3 earned runs so far with 4 walks. Still too many walks for him, but 6 Ks. That's good for Danny on the night tonight. And the Orioles hitting a couple of home runs tonight to make the difference in this game. But Danny Cabrera keeping that breaking ball out of the strike zone when he's ahead in the count and making good pitches on the hitters that he knows will swing at the ball out of the zone.
He'll go against the lower third of the lineup. And there's activity behind Cabrera as the inning begins. Here's Johnny Gomes. And there's a strike, 0-1. Jamie Walker is getting loose in the Oriole bullpen. And he just did get up as the inning began. The Orioles did make a roster move today. Swing and a miss, 0-2 as Jamie Walker gets loose here in the 6th inning. Kurt Perkins is back from AAA Norfolk, so he's in the bullpen, giving the Orioles a third left-hander in the bullpen. And Paul Shuey has been designated for assignment. So he is no longer on the team, and 1-2 the count. So Paul Shuey, 0-1, a 9.82 ERA, and Kurt Perkins, pretty good numbers at AAA, brought up to help out in the bullpen. That not only gives the Orioles another possibility for a long man, but it gives them another lefty. And there's strike 3 call to Johnny Gomes, and 1 away in the 6th.
Well, you got to feel bad for Paul Shuey because he's just struggled physically so many times to stay back in the game. But let's look back again at Danny Cabrera again making a very good pitch with his breaking ball on the outside corner. Johnny Gomes, who's been swinging the bat pretty good, putting up some home run numbers. Coming off the bench, but Danny made a very good pitch, just barely got that outside corner.
Navarro bunt attempt, he foul tips it into the glove of Hernandez, and it's 0-1.
Well, I can tell you from experience that that bunt attempt by the catcher is an effort to get that batting average up there a little bit. Did it a few times myself. I try to break myself out of plenty of slumps. I am the master of the slump.
Hey, if they're defensing you differently, why not?
I know. Well, the infielders, look at the defense. The defense, they're back on the grass, and they're giving him the bunt if he wants it. So, I mean, why not take it? Except when you got 2 strikes on you.
Cabrera's now struck out 7. He's walked 4. Trying to keep his pattern going since the All-Star break. Mentioned he has won and lost every other start now, over 8 starts. So if the pattern continues, he wins tonight. Back-to-back pitches in the dirt, 2-2. We're 9-13 on the year. Trying to get a starter victory for the first time since last Tuesday when Eric Bedard beat Texas. Weekly grounded to first base. Millar is there. He'll go to the bag unassisted. And 2 men down in the Tampa Bay 6th inning. Well, don't forget the Yankees make their final appearance at Oriole Park. A 3-game series beginning on Friday, September 28th. That's the final fireworks night of 2007. So fans have one more chance to stick around and watch good baseball, then a brilliant post-game fireworks show, all presented by Bank of America. Tickets start at just $10, 888-848-BIRD, or online at Orioles.com. Josh Wilson takes a strike. Cabrera has only one 3-up, 3-down inning. It was in the 2nd when he retired Gomes, Navarro, and Wilson. He's retired Gomes and Navarro to begin the 6th, so he's an out away from another 3-up, 3-down inning in the same part of the lineup. Fastball misses low, 1-1. Wilson has a modest 3-game hitting streak working. Swings through it, 1-2. There, that shows you just how effective, even when Cabrera throws a breaking ball, 83 miles an hour, there's such a disparity between the velocity on that and his fastball that the hitter was well out in front. And he blows the fastball by him. That was a tremendous at-bat there for Cabrera as he gets the strikeout. So 8 strikeouts for Cabrera. Tampa Bay goes 3 up, 3 down. And the Orioles have a 1-run lead.
For a limited time, we're offering 0 down, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit. That's right, 0 cash due on delivery on the Volvo XC90, one of the world's most award-winning luxury SUVs. Sign your name and drive away. It's that easy. Our sign and drive sales event is the perfect time to go to a Volvo retailer. We know you'll hear the answers you want.
Lease a 2007 Volvo XC90 for $459 a month for 24 months. 0 due at signing.
There's a reason why Miguel Tejada is the best power-hitting shortstop in baseball. Better playing deep, outfielders. The O's meet Manny Ramirez and the Red Sox. The action starts Friday at 6:30 on Masson 2. Be there.
Here's big news on term life insurance. Matrix Direct now offers quality coverage from American General Life, one of the nation's strongest and highly rated insurance companies. American General Life will be there when you need protection most. A 40-year-old man can get a $250,000 policy for under $15 a month. Call now for your free quote. The call is free, the quote is free, and there's no obligation.
Call Matrix Direct for your free quote, 1-800-624-4479.
And we're back at Camden Yards. The Orioles on top of the Devil Rays 4-3 in the bottom of the 6th. And Daniel Cabrera getting congratulations from Leo Mazzoni a little earlier on a good outing. And I'm joined for another perspective by Joe Angel from the Orioles Radio Network. And he deserves that congratulations.
He does. You know, it's going to be interesting, though, because they've got 3 left-hand hitters coming up in the 7th inning. Cabrera's got a 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts there. He's got 8 strikeouts in the game. So he's going to make a very interesting decision. Does he allow Cabrera to go back after those 3 left-hand hitters, or does he bring in Jamie Walker, the left-hand pitcher? You know, the bullpen for the Orioles has been giving it up, so that's going to be an interesting decision, I think.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Do you go to the bullpen in that situation? I know it's you go to left.
I wouldn't go to the bullpen. I mean, Cabrera looks like he came back with a strong 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts. He's over 100 pitches, but he's a big, strong guy. I'd send him back out there again.
That's right. And the Orioles, as we said at the beginning of the game, they need a good quality outing from their stars. All right, thanks for being here with us, Joe.
My pleasure.
I always like hanging out with my buddy, Joe. All right, now I get to go back, hang out with Fred over there on WHFS. Let's go back to Jim.
All right, Amber, thank you very much. Thank you, Joe. So sound advice from Joe Angel down the hall. As Tejada swings through it, and it's 1-2. Miggy, a solo home run in the first. He flied out in the third. And he takes outside 2-2. Hammel's retired 5 in a row. Tejada will be followed by Kevin Millar and Aubrey Huff here in the 6th inning. And Tampa Bay has its bullpen busy behind Jason Hammel, who works here in the 6th inning. And Tejada pops it up. Navarro throws the mass, grabs it for the out, and Tejada's out 1 down. Get a look at our Nissan in-game box score for the Orioles batting here in the 6th inning.
Well, here you go. You see Corey Patterson with another triple starting the game off there, and then back-to-back home runs by Markakis and Tejada, and they've led the Orioles offense so far, with Brian Roberts helping to create a run later on in the 3rd inning of the ball game. So a pretty good offensive output, but still maybe not enough for tonight's ball game.
Well, 1 down in the 6th. Here's Kevin Millar. Walker is throwing once again in the Oriole bullpen, so it could be that Jamie will come on to pitch in the 7th, which would mean that the Orioles bullpen will have to get 9 outs. Waved that by Millar, and it's 1-1. Kevin 0 for 2 on the night, and he is 5 for 27 on the homestand, so he has cooled off. It's a 185 batting average on this homestand.
Kevin, as you know, had that 51 consecutive games on base. A pretty good record for a guy that wasn't expected to be in the lineup very much at all this year, but has really played exceptionally well. I think proved to a lot of people in this Oriole organization that he's one of the better defensive first basemen in the American League. By the way, he handles himself around the bag. Maybe not as much range as some of them, but still good. And done an outstanding job at setting the record, actually, at 52 consecutive games in a row. Thank you, Jim.
Beat your old teammate, Ken Singleton.
Yep, beat my old roommate, Singleton, who had 49 consecutive games on base.
Hanging curve, and he pulls it foul. We talked to Singy the day that Millar had a chance to break it, and he said, wish him luck.
Yeah, he did.
And if he doesn't get it, we'll share it.
You know, there's no better person that left this game than Ken Singleton. I mean, there was never any ego in his game. I mean, he was an outstanding hitter. He would take his walks when they gave them to him. He was an unbelievable good clutch hitter. And you often don't hear the name Ken Singleton as much as you really should, mixed in there with Eddie Murray and Cal Ripken and a lot of guys that we had, but Ken Singleton was every much as productive, or even more so in a lot of cases, because he was consistent. They didn't call him Mr. Peepers for nothing.
Hey, he was a winner.
He was unbelievable.
You surround stars like Eddie Murray and Cal Ripken with guys like Singleton. And he was kind of the guy that spanned the generations. You know, he was still around when Brooks was here, and then he played with Cal.
And I was there when Ken Singleton got 10 consecutive hits in a row. Try that sometime.
Well, that's a record that I think is going to last for a long time.
A long time. 10 consecutive hits in a row.
He's had a tough couple of years. Melvin beat his record for best batting average in a season a couple of years ago. Now Millar beats his consecutive games getting on base. But I think the 10 consecutive hits is one that will last. As Millar pops a foul near the Oriole dugout. Navarro is over, hoping for a play. He does have a play, and he has it for the out. So back-to-back foul pop-ups to the catcher, and 2 down in the Orioles' 6th. That's why you stick with it, right? Because it curled back to Navarro.
Well, we're going to see if he can tie another record, Navarro, making 3 outs in a row in 1 inning.
Here's Aubrey Huff. Aubrey 0 for 2 on the night.
Well, what I've really liked out of Aubrey Huff as of late, Jim, is the fact that it's a noticeable difference in his bat speed right now than there was earlier in the year. Not that he had bad bat speed earlier. It's just that it's improved so much lately, and that's why we're going to take another look at the long one way up on the flag court again. The Orioles' 3rd home run of the game. Aubrey Huff puts the Orioles back up 2 again with a shot over the right field wall.
Number 13 for Aubrey Huff. And he continues to hit very well against his former team.
I guess I had to call that one, Jimmy. I'm sorry. It was right in the middle of my explaining his quick bat. And maybe we get to see it again. The fastball up a little bit, middle away, and he actually pulls it. Now this is good hitting right here, because this is what you got to do when you hit in the middle of the order. You get that fastball when you're looking at it, hit it over the fence.
That's a big insurance run for the Orioles as Aubrey Huff hits it out.
Where's Earl Weaver's telephone number? I want to call him right now. Get Earl on the phone.
For Aubrey, that is his 3rd home run on the homestand. Mora fouls it back on the netting. Well, in the 1st inning, the Orioles scored 3 runs with 1 down. In the 3rd inning, they got their 4th run with 1 down. And now in this inning, they get their 5th run after 2 men out. There's a strike. Melvin 1 out of 2. He singled his last at bat. So the Orioles with the long ball tonight, 3 home runs. As Melvin fouls it back. So 4 of the 5 runs, Rick, coming in on those long balls.
Well, we've said it for a long time now how the Orioles really need to pick up the pace hitting home runs. But the one thing is you can't go up there and try to hit home runs. What you can do is be more aggressive on the fastball and not just always try to hit the ball up the middle and always try to wait long enough to hit the ball, but to be quick on those fastballs in fastball hitting situations.
Tejadas hit his 15th. Markakis has hit his 14th. Huff has hit his 13th. A 3-home run night for the Orioles. 2-2 on Mora. He got into that one, but pulls it foul. Well back out of play.
You know, you watch Eddie Murray, Jim, take batting practice along with Ken Singleton, a lot of the great Oriole hitters, the guys, Lee May, who hit the ball out of the park, and they always start off batting practice hitting the ball the other way, flipping the ball down the opposite line, and working on situations where when the pitcher's got a good count, how much they'll wait on the ball.
That was some play by the ball.
It was, and it just kind of got right in the middle of what I was talking about, but very nice play on her part. Let's get another look at it. They get a bouncing ball to the left and takes a bad hop on her, and she plays it very nicely.
Melvin fouls it off.
We could probably use that in the training field for next spring training. But I was talking about then the middle part of the batting practice, hitting the ball up the middle and line drives from left center to right center. And the last 5 to 10, 15 swings is all to juice the ball a little bit, to work on bat speed and get that feel for getting ahead of the bat out on the fastball when you get a situation where the pitcher's in the hole and you get a pitch to hit, because not all the time do you have to hit a ball. And Aubrey Huff just showed you that was middle in out of the ballpark. That ball was middle away, and he pulled it up on the flat court, and that's good hitting.
Yeah, Melvin having a very good at-bat, gets the count to 3-2. And pops it up center field. Upton is there. He'll wait for it. And he has it for the out. But the Orioles get an insurance run as Aubrey Huff hits his 13th home run on the year. A no doubt about it shot to right. And the Orioles once again have a 2-run lead.
The first sport utility vehicle. The first full-time four-wheel drive. And now, Jeep introduces the industry's first lifetime powertrain warranty. It's the best warranty in the business, and no other car company matches it. So come and check out our largest lineup of Jeep vehicles ever with our exclusive lifetime warranty. Now, well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months on Jeep Commander.
Every child has the potential to do something great. That's why PNC has pledged over $100 million to a program that prepares young children for school. It's called Grow Up Great, and it's helping kids do just that. PNC, leading the way.
Orioles Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwest.com. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. What a beautiful view of the moon. It's Cosmo's moon here at Oriole Park. And the Orioles have a 5-3 lead going to the 7th. Well, day off yesterday. Bullpen got a little bit of rest. They sure needed it. Here's Jamie Walker, Rick, to come on and pitch in the 7th inning.
Jamie's had a little bit of trouble lately with that breaking ball up in the strike zone. If he's going to be effective for the rest of the season, he has to work on keeping that breaking ball down and taking advantage of that left-handed hitter.
And it's high 1-0. Well, the bullpen certainly has struggled during this losing streak. Here are the numbers. The bullpen has allowed runs in each outing. The last scoreless appearance was the last win by a starter, Eric Bedard's game last Tuesday. Bedard wins 7, and the bullpen pitched the 8th and 9th, did not allow runs. So runs allowed in 6 consecutive games. And there are the numbers. 40 earned runs in 18 innings. Of course, 24 of those runs came in the one game. That was in the 30-3 game against Texas. There's a bouncer towards second. Roberts has it, plays the hop, and throws and just got him. That's why you bust it down the line. Iwamura made that close, 1 away.
You see that pitch, from Jamie Walker. We're going to say another look at it was the first pitch that he got down in the strike zone, and he gets the breaking ball. When he's down in the strike zone, that body rhythm that he has out on the mound is really what gets hitters out. It gets him on that front foot and gets him to swing over the top of the ball. And right there, he threw him 3 pitches. The best one was the last one that he got the ground ball on.
Carl Crawford fouls back the breaking ball.
And you know what I'm talking about now, watch this breaking ball. We're going to get a chance here maybe in a second to take a peek at it. But watch the breaking ball where it goes across plate. See how high it is? This is the problem he's had lately, is that he doesn't have enough velocity to throw that ball by. And when hitters pick up his rhythm and timing, it becomes very, very tough for him to get hitters out. He's got to get that breaking ball down in the strike zone if he's going to be effective.
Jamie in his 68th game on the year. That is tops on the club, so he has certainly been relied on quite a bit. And this is outside of the fastball, 1-2 on Crawford, who looked frozen on that pitch after back-to-back curves. Jamie Walker ready to work. And there's a bloop to center field. Patterson in on it, makes a diving catch. 2 men down. Well, you talk about pitching, defense helps pitching out. That was a sinking line drive. And Patterson with a quick first step got there, made the grab.
Well, what a great jump right away. He's breaking in on this ball. He's got fantastic speed, good body rhythm, balance, keeps an eye on the ball. It's right in front of him. You see him right there. Not a tough play for Corey Patterson because of his speed. Very good defensive outfielder.
So back-to-back outs, 2 fine defensive play. Roberts with a good play to first, and here's the Carlos Pena, David Ortiz shift. As Tejada moves to the second base side of the bag. Melvin Mora now at shortstop and nobody at third base. And there's a strike to Pena, who is 1 out of 2. Carlos Pena, it's taken him a while to develop. Now 29 years old. First round pick of Texas in '98. He's been with Oakland. He's been with the Tigers. Boston last year for a bit when he has found a home in Tampa Bay. There's a strike on the breaking ball, and it's 0-2. And that was a better breaking ball. It was down in the zone, and Jimmy Walker got the call.
Kind of an awkward shift, really, for a 273 hitter. I just don't think that it warrants that much of a shift off of him. That he doesn't really pull the ball all of that much.
And doesn't matter as he swings through strike 3, and he's down on strikes. So Jamie Walker comes on and has a 3-up, 3-down inning. 7th inning stretch, 5-3 Birds. Say, have you heard about the Maryland Lottery's Mega Millions jackpot? Well, you should have. That's because the current estimated amount is $250 million. Get in on the fun. Pick up your ticket today at any lottery retailer. The Maryland Lottery. Let yourself play.
You see, Bob, few athletes are as finely tuned as Billy Joe.
Make no mistake, Lloyd. There's a reason why he's the only athlete in the world to pull off the atomic sky soaker.
If you look at his form in slow-mo, we can see the key is his perfect 37.5-degree angle of entry.
That and his disciplined diet of pork fat, pumpernickel, and grape soda.
Now that's a combination for success, Bob.
It's the sacrifice for perfection, Lloyd.
Of course, there's always Super Match 3 from the Maryland Lottery, with 7 chances to win and a top prize of $10,000. It may not be a sport, but at least it's exciting.
The word duh.
like it's obvious. It's a no-brainer. Like getting a great deal on a great car. Seems kind of obvious to us. The Hyundai Big Dog Sales Event.
Lease a 2007 Hyundai Santa Fe GLS, given the top safety rating from the IIHS, starting at $259 a month.
Your inspiration. Your support system. Your rock. Your brothers. Your sidekick. Your foundation. Your reflection. Your crew. Your future. Whatever your reason, drink responsibly.
Hey fans, the O's half of the 7th inning is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Old Number 7. We wait until each barrel is just the right age, and you should too. Drink responsibly. Well, the fans having their 7th inning stretch. Orioles have a 5-3 lead. A lot of enthusiasm at the ballpark tonight. We love B-Rob. And they're on the big scoreboard in center field, and they're having a good time at the ballpark. And here's Scott Domenrick coming off for Tampa Bay.
Well, another good young pitcher that they've brought up from this year to the big leagues. And you see him, he's got 18 innings. And anytime you've got less hits than innings pitched, you're doing a pretty good job. Only 4 earned runs and 8 walks. So he's done a pretty good job out of the bullpen for Tampa Bay so far this year.
Scott Domen, 29 years old. He was originally picked by the Colorado Rockies, then went to Kansas City, and then picked up by Tampa Bay as a minor league free agent. Ramon Hernandez will lead off. Freddie Bynum and Brian Roberts will follow. Ramon is 0 for 2. His over streak is now 0 for his last 26. And he has just 1 hit now in his last 42 at-bats. So Hammel goes 6 innings, 5 runs on 6 hits. The pitcher of record on the losing side. Lively fastball down and in, 1-0, 96 miles an hour.
You know, Jimmy, earlier in the day, Hernandez was telling me about he may even bunt tonight for the first time to try to get a base hit. Well, he's got an opportunity to do so.
High foul. That'll be back in the crowd.
You get to take a look at the third baseman, Akinora Iwamura. He is playing way back there and giving him every opportunity. And trust me, I know you don't need a lot of speed. If you can make a half-decent bunt down that line, just get it past where the pitcher's mound would be if had it be on a line, and you've got yourself a base hit. But some guys just can't convince themselves to go ahead and take a bunt base hit.
And at this point,
I'm doing
take
anything.
a broken bat, 9-hopper up the middle. So in the box score, it'll have a hit in the hit column. Deep left center field. Maybe this is the one. Back it goes. It is good for Hernandez. He breaks the long offer with a home run.
That was a long bunt, Jim. Just left of the bullpen. Nice to see that finally breaking out of that streak. I think he was 0 for 26 going into that. Thank you, Lord. Me too. Thank you. Let's take a look at it again. A fastball right down the middle of the plate. You can't miss it, and he doesn't. Hernandez finally gets a hold of one, and they're not going to catch him out there where that ball landed. So no chance of that being an atom ball.
So Ramon hits his first home run since July the 16th. He had gone 98 at-bats without a home run. And more importantly for Ramon, he snaps in 0 for 26. 4 home runs in the game, a season high for the Birds.
And he's got a little smile on his face now. There was some frowning going on for a while.
Swing and a miss by Bynum, and it's 0-2. Well, the most frustrating thing about a slump is that you do have games where maybe you hit the ball hard, but it finds a fielder.
It always does. You know, that's the way. That's the nature of a slump. When you do hit it good, it's always got to be right at the shortstop, right at the left fielder, right at the right fielder. Somebody makes a diving catch, and that's just what extends a slump, because he is certainly not that bad a hitter.
Well, Freddie Bynum down on strikes, one away as Doman gets a strikeout. Let's welcome in Amber.
Well, this group is here tonight courtesy of Danny Baez. It is the Union Baptist Church. It's a group from that church, and it's all part of the Orioles Reach Ticket program. The program allows children who may not otherwise be able to enjoy a baseball game the opportunity to experience the excitement of a visit to Oriole Park. Group members receive a game ticket, concession vouchers, an Orioles t-shirt and cap, and transportation to and from the game. So thanks to Danny, he paid for the tickets for this group. Let's go back to Jim.
All right, Amber, thank you very much. Nice gesture. Orioles active in the community. Brian Roberts, who had his bash the other night to help the University of Maryland Hospital for Children. And there's a base hit up the middle. Brian Roberts is on with one down. That's his first hit on the night. He's now hitting 4 straight.
Now let me see. Let's take a guess here. Do you think he may attempt to steal this time?
He might.
He might.
He might.
I give you 5-1 odds.
One down, Corey Patterson will come up. Joe Madden looking over the matchups. And Brian is on. He's now hitting 4 straight. Has 8 hits on the homestand. Here's Patterson. Roberts' bluff going, and Corey fouls it back. It might have been he didn't feel as if he got a good jump, so he stopped.
He did. I've seen that before when I was coaching first base. Sometimes Brian doesn't trust that he's going to get as much time to jump as he does, and he'll stop for no reason sometimes. And this is the first year, really, that Brian Roberts has been so much better at stealing bases, and his approach altogether. He's been a lot more aggressive the second half. Second half of the last 2 or 3 years, he was not as aggressive as he was the first.
Well, he had gone 11 consecutive games without a stolen base until he stole second and third in the 3rd inning.
Good base stealers have to take chances, Jim. They just are going to get picked badly at times. It will happen. You'll see Brian get picked off occasionally really bad. But you know something? That's the risk of being a great baseball stealer. But when he gets his jump, look at this. You see, that's how you stop Brian. You got to hold the ball like that. If that pitcher had not held this pitch, now watch him jump off the bag here. He's ready to go, but the pitcher hasn't delivered. Now, you know he froze the pitcher, wasn't thinking about throwing over. Otherwise, he could have picked Brian off easily. But they just don't think of it.
He doesn't go, and the 1-1 is low. Looked like he altered his delivery there, maybe a slide step. Navarro with a nice block to keep it in front of him. 2-1 on Patterson.
And you saw Brian on the very next pitch. He shortened his stride a little bit. You broke his spirit on that at bat. Watch this again now too. Brian is he's not even making a half attempt. There's the one where he thought he would go. They held him. And now he's thinking to himself, I need some time to recover here and there you go.
And he broke on movement and the pickoff attempt. They have him in a rundown. Still have him in the rundown. And finally tagged out. So that time he went 1 step too many, and Doman fired to first, and he got him. So Brian got back the previous time. LoJack caught stealing.
Well, here's Brian. He's going to go this time, and this guy, you know, Brian just, how many times are they going to let him get this big jump? You got to figure sooner or later somebody's going to change the timing. They get a tremendous rundown. Nobody can seem to catch him, and finally they catch him.
Well, those fans, don't forget you can enter the LoJack Caught Stealing Sweepstakes. Your chance to win a 2008 spring training trip and other exciting prizes. Get online, Orioles.com/LoJack to enter to win. LoJack, the only stolen vehicle recovery system operated by the police. So the caught stealing goes 1-3-6-3-4. Brian's 7th caught stealing on the year to go with 39 stolen bases. Doman did a very good job that time, as Rick mentioned, altering his cadence. And he fired to first and got him. There's a base hit for Corey Patterson.
Well, we're going to see it again here now, Jim. Now, Corey is not like Brian in as much as he tries to get the hop, skip, and the jump. Corey is a straight, pure, raw speed. He gets a jump. He just figures out a time, and he goes. But he is so quick on the second step, he's running full speed, and that's how he steals bases. Now, if you did a comparison between Brian Roberts and Corey Patterson on who's the better base stealer, actually, you would see that Corey Patterson per time on base is a lot better than Brian Roberts. But Brian Roberts gets on base a lot more and steals more bases.
Go to first and Patterson back. Well, I mentioned Brian had gone 11 games without a steal. He has 2 tonight. Corey, the opposite. He has 9 stolen bases so far in the month of August. He has crept closer to Brian's team lead. Brian now has 39 steals. Corey has 36. And Markakis takes high, 1-0. So the Orioles have a run in on the home run by Hernandez. Markakis hit his 14th home run in the first inning. A 3 RBI night for Nick. He now has 83 on the year as he approaches his first 100 RBI season as a major leaguer. Left field. Crawford back on it as a play. And the left fielder has it for the out, and the inning ends, but not before Ramon Hernandez snaps an 0 for 26 drought with the home run, his 6th on the year for a 6-3 lead.
It's the final days of Ford's model year clearance. It all ends September 3rd. Just announced. Get 0% financing for 60 months or up to $4,007 cash back on F-150. It's your last chance to save big on America's best-selling trucks. Get best-in-class towing and payload. And get 0% for 60 months or up to $4,007 cash back on F-150. Ford's model year clearance ends September 3rd. Visit your local Ford dealer.
Now batting, Ramon Hernandez.
Last year, Ramon Hernandez hit .320 at home.
Here's the pitch. That ball is going, and it is a home run!
Home sweet home. The Orioles wrestle with the Red Sox. The series starts Thursday, September 6th on MASN. Be there.
Now on DVD, it's MLB Bloopers, the funny side of baseball. Get ready for all the hits, misses, and some things we just can't explain. Jam-packed with pranks, practical jokes, and bloopers. Featuring your favorite stars from Major League Baseball. MLB Bloopers, the funny side of baseball. Now on DVD.
Well, let's get a look at the Nissan in-game box score for Tampa Bay as we go to the 8th.
Well, here we go. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays not quite as aggressive as the Orioles tonight. Certainly not hitting home runs. We had the one by Pena. But again, that was a solo home run. And that's how what you call damage control, is keeping people off base. Not very many hits, only 5 for Tampa Bay on the night.
97 solo home runs on the year now for Tampa Bay. Jim Hoey comes on to work the 8th. Jamie Walker has a perfect 7th inning, 3 up, 3 down. Hoey has struggled his last couple of outings, trying to regain the form, get aggressive, throw strikes. He's allowed now 8 earned runs and 9 in the 3rd inning since coming back from AAA. And he's protecting a 3-run lead. He'll face Upton, Young, and Harris. So Jamie Walker did a very good job as Dave Tremblay sent him in to face 3 lefties. Jamie got all 3, and now Hoey has 3 right-handed batters coming up in the 8th. And there's a base hit up the middle. So Upton looking fastball, got it. And he is on with nobody down in the 8th. Well, O's fans, if you're traveling outside the Orioles broadcast territory, you can still follow the Birds live by subscribing to MLB.tv. By watching MASN at home and MLB.tv while traveling, you'll never miss any live action. Plus, with MLB.tv, you can catch games that you missed on demand and listen to every radio broadcast in the league live. So sign up today for unparalleled baseball experience. For details, go online, Orioles.com. Here's Delman Young, takes ball 1.
Now, for some unknown reason, Jim, this seems to be the nemesis inning for the Orioles through this streak. They have given up so many runs in the 8th inning of the ball game. So this is the setup man role that they've missed so much this year. I mean, Baez was supposed to be the guy who is pitching the 8th inning all year long, but with all of the injury and the problems going on, a lot of different people have been asked to pitch out of this inning right here, what they call, setting up for the closer. And there's Danny. You see him in the bullpen now, more in a closer role for the Orioles right now than a setup man. This has been a tough inning.
There's a good pitch at the knees, 1-2. Well, to give you an idea of what Rick is referring to, the Orioles on the year in 8th innings of games have been outscored 96-60 by their opposition. So the opposition has scored 36 more runs in this inning than the Orioles have. And a tough inning for the bullpen. And he got him. Breaking ball, he chased. So Hoey got ahead, able to use that slider. And Delman Young down on strikes, 1 away. Well, time now for you to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates: Nick Markakis, Daniel Cabrera, and Miguel Tejada. Text in your vote now. Have your voice heard. Text in A, B, or C to Oriole 674-653. Markakis a 3 RBI night. Daniel Cabrera 6 strong innings, and Miguel Tejada a home run. Here's Brendan Harris, who's 0 for 3. Fastball a little low, I guess. 1-0. Harris hitless on the night.
All the tough times now that they've had lately. This is the last 2 innings now. We've got a nice 3-run lead. This is where Hernandez needs to take control of this bullpen too and force them to keep the ball down. If you miss the strike zone, miss the strike zone low, because you're rarely ever going to get hit when you're missing low in the strike zone. You're going to get hit hard.
Hard hit ball, base hit left field. So Harris is on 2 singles in the inning, and just like that, the tying run comes to the plate, and it's a home run threat. So Hoey missing in spots, and Tampa Bay with 2 singles in the inning. Here's Johnny Gomes. Gomes is 0 for 2. He's also walked. There are the runners. Upton at second, Harris at first. Gomes has 14 home runs on the year.
He's 3rd on the ball club in home runs, and he's not an everyday player, so you know he's got a lot of power. This is a spot, Jim, you know he's looking for that fastball off of Hoey, middle in, to try to tie this ball game up. So now's the chance you want to get. Keep the ball away from him. Do not give him this opportunity to pull the ball.
He goes with the slider and misses outside. Hoey checks the runner. Inside ball 2. 2-0 the count. Chad Bradford is now getting loose in the Oriole pen.
Well, now Miggy goes out to talk to Jim Hoey and try to get him back on track a little bit, that it should be Hernandez out here now talking to him, trying to get him back into the strike zone again, down and away. Tell the hitter what's coming. Give him a chance that, you're going to get this fastball down and hit the ball on the ground the opposite way, and hopefully we'll be able to turn a double play, get an out somewhere in here just to keep them from getting that 3rd runner on base.
Well, he turns and looks the runner back. Upton goes back to second base. So Upton at second, outstanding speed. Harris at first, not being held. And 2-0 on Gomes. Ball 3, throw behind the runner, and getting back to the bag is Harris. Millar sneaking in behind him.
You see pretty good footwork on the part of Hernandez Ramon right here, and taking the momentum of the ball to his right side, getting rid of it pretty good. Not really a good time to be thinking about throwing to the bases, because a closer pitch on the outside corner, the umpire misses it, you go to ball 3. You don't want very much motion at this time right now. Give the umpire every opportunity you can to call a strike, because you're in big trouble right here now if he walks this hitter with the bases loaded, to load the bases.
And he does. There's ball 4, so Jim Hoey's come on. 2 singles and a walk, 1 strikeout, and the tying runs are now on with 1 down. So the struggles continue for Hoey. Leo Mazzoni's going to come out for a chat. It's almost as if he's trying too hard. Maybe squeezing the baseball.
Well, I have a rule of thumb, and you've heard me say it so many times. You know, I've had great staffs to work with, but when you get that walk late in the game, nothing good ever happens after a walk. So, I mean, if you got somebody ready to go in the bullpen, it doesn't matter what name's on his back, get him in the ball game. If we're going to try to make it through this game without giving it up, right now is the time, because the first thing you got to do when you're coming back is you got to throw strike 1 with your fastball, and that gives the hitter an advantage. He knows what's coming. He knows exactly where it's going to be. And even if it's Dion or Navarro who's struggling to hit 200, you still give him a tremendous advantage by knowing this guy's got to throw the ball right down the middle. That's the only place I'm looking for it right now.
Well, Navarro has struggled. He's 0 for 3. However, he does have 6 home runs on the year, and at the plate in this situation, he represents the go-ahead run. 2 singles and a walk to load the bases. Outside, ball 1. There's a big pitch coming up now. Not sure where that was. Ball 2. Hoey in a big jam now. Bases loaded, 1 down, and he's 2-0 on the hitter. Bradford in the bullpen. Ball 3. Where was that pitch? Brian Burris joining Bradford, so lefty and a righty. There's a strike, 3-1. Navarro taking all the way, as he should.
And he's probably going to get the take sign again here, too. A 200 hitter with a 3-1 count. You almost have to push him to 3-2.
And ball 4, and Hoey forces in a run. So back-to-back walks. 1 loads the bases, 1 forces in a run, makes it a 2-run game.
Well, you got to take a look at the mentality of a pitcher when he's get behind in the count. He has to throw this fastball. The first one misses down and away. Again, too much movement there. And another low fastball. It's out of the strike zone. He finally throws a strike on the 4th pitch, and then he misses up and in with the 5th one. So some point in there, you've got to change pitches, make him throw a cut fastball or a slider or something, but just give him a different feel instead of going with the same pitch that he has no command of.
So bases loaded, 1 down. Greg Norton pinch hitting, and he takes the ball. This is Josh Wilson's spot in the lineup. Norton, a couple of home runs on the year. He's a switch hitter, so this gets another lefty bat up there against Hoey. Swings through it.
Well, you'd almost have to fine him for swinging at that pitch, because he just walked the other hitter on 5 pitches, threw ball 1, and he's got to throw 1 strike before anybody in the lineup should take a hack at him.
Slider misses low. Well, Brendan Harris is now the lead runner at 3rd with Johnny Gomes at 2nd base. And Dioner Navarro is the trail runner at 1st. Picked up an RBI and the bases loaded walk. A 2-1 on the pinch hitter Greg Norton. Ball 3. The tying run is now in scoring position at second base, and the go-ahead run is on at first. No defense for a walk. He's walked back-to-back hitters. And there's a base hit in the right field. Harris will score. Gomes is being sent. He will score, and this game is tied. And Jim Hoey has allowed Tampa Bay to come back and tie it.
Well, that's a hole that he dug himself into by sitting there throwing fastball after fastball until he just gave the hitter every advantage that he possibly could, and knowing the fastball was coming. And, you know, you got a free swing at it. And it catches up with you, because nothing good happens after a walk in that situation. We just talked about it a second ago, that, you know, if you're going to win this ball, you kind of have to understand the mentality of this whole situation.
So Hoey leaves. He retires only one batter. Top of the lineup coming up, Brian Burris coming in for the Birds.
Nearly 2 centuries of handcrafted beer tradition. 6 generations of family pride. Endless years of taste testing, refining, and perfecting our beer. And it all comes down to this. One single bottle of Yuengling Traditional Lager. Yuengling Traditional Lager. Taste it, and you'll know.
Access to music, GPS navigation, videos, email, internet.
You think they ever put phones like these on sale?
Yeah, when pigs fly.
Or maybe sooner.
The Verizon Wireless Red Hot Deal Days are finally here. Get your family any of these fully loaded phones for a price anyone can afford. But hurry, only through Labor Day. Verizon Wireless.
Bold, powerful, unique. Of all Nissan's lines, this is the one you've been waiting for. The Bottom Line. The once-a-year sales event with great model year-end deals on every capable Nissan sport utility vehicle and minivan. Like a $249 per month lease on either the Nissan Murano or Pathfinder. Get to your Nissan dealer now. This event ends September 4th, and that's the Bottom Line.
Here's Brian Burris on to try to put out the fire and keep this game tied as Jim Hoey allows 3 runs, 2 men on base, his responsibility. And Burris comes on to face Akinora Iwamura. Nick Markakis did a good job on that base hit by Norton, as he had no intention of throwing towards the plate, knowing that the runner at second base, Johnny Gomes, would have a big jump, so he fired in towards Tejada to keep the runner Navarro from going to third. Of course, with 1 down, if that runner gets to third, a fly ball could score him. So here's Burris facing Iwamura with 2 on and 1 out. Iwamura swings through it 0-1. Well, Daniel Cabrera cannot win now. He is pitched to a no decision. And this also takes Jason Hammel off the hook for a loss, as he has now worked to a no decision. There's a strike on 2. So the dreaded 8th inning for the Orioles. It comes back to hurt again. 3 runs in, and Tampa Bay still not done. 2 on and only 1 down. Just outside.
Boy, that looked more like a strike to me. I don't know how that pitch could be called a ball. It couldn't be any more perfect. Watch the glove. The glove does not go out to pick the ball up. It's right there on the corner. That tells me that pitch was more a strike than anything else. That was very good pitch by Brian Burris. I think it should have been called a strike.
Iwamura has life at 1-2. Tough time with runners in scoring position. That curve too far outside, 2-2. Iwamura in Japan was a home run hitter. The last 3 years, he had 44, 30, and 32 home runs. He is finding the major league pitchers a bit more difficult to homer against. He's had 4 home runs this year, and ironically, as a left-handed batter, all 4 of his home runs have come against left-handed pitchers. Outside ball 3.
Well, in his defense too, Jim, I've played over in Japan on tour earlier in my career, and I know the ballparks over there are a lot shorter fence-wise. I mean, you don't see too many ballparks that were over 380 to straightaway center field. And down the lines, it's a lot of cases it was in the high 200s.
Ball 4 outside. So from nothing in 2 to a walk for Iwamura, and once again the bases are loaded. So now with 1 down, the go-ahead run is at third. That's Navarro, the catcher. Norton is at second. Iwamura at first. So Burris got ahead aggressively 0-2, and Iwamura works the walk. And here's the numbers we referred to. 96-60 now in the 8th inning. The Orioles have been outscored. 99-60, excuse me. With the 3 here this inning.
And a very tough situation too right here, Jim, with Carl Crawford up to bat. If he puts the ball in play on the ground, he's going to be a very, very tough guy to double up. That's what the Orioles need right now, is a double play ball. They're at double play depth, but Carl Crawford is not easy to get that second out on.
Breaking ball inside, 1-1. Crawford has a chance to really bust this game open here with the bases loaded and 1 down. 3 runs already in. Ooh, went after a bad pitch, 1-2.
This would not be a bad time right now to go out. Let's take a look at this pitch first. Now, here it is, a bad breaking ball in the dirt, so you know Carl Crawford is trying to be aggressive here. It's to go out to the mound now or in some way communicate with him that you do not have to throw a strike in this situation yet, because you only have 1 ball on the hitter. You can throw another breaking ball in the dirt. You can throw a fastball up and in, but nothing around the middle of the plate.
Here's the 1-2. It's a little low, 2-2.
Well, that was the one pitch they had to try to get him to swing. Now they've got to come to the strike zone because you don't want to go to a 3-2 count with him.
Lefty versus lefty. 2-2 on Crawford. And he got him.
And foul ball.
Oh. Good to see Marty Foster say foul ball, excuse me.
Here we get a chance to take a peek at it. You'll see that Carl Crawford just barely nicks this ball.
Yep.
Catches the heel of the glove.
Marty Foster peeked around there. He wanted to see if Ramon held on to it.
Well, you can kind of tell from the body rhythm of Carl Crawford that he didn't swing and miss it.
2-2, the count holds. Ground ball, base hit in the right field. Tampa Bay gets the lead as the owner Navarro scores. So Crawford comes through. And Tampa Bay is about to bat around, and there's still only 1 out in the inning. It's 7-6 Tampa Bay. It's a 4-run inning.
See this slider down and out over the plate. They sped up the bat. It was almost too good a pitch for him in that situation, just to allow him to get the head of the bat on the ball. He did not hit it good. A lot of topspin is what took that ball through the infield. The ground ball perfect here between Millar and Brian Roberts, but tough pitch in that situation to have to throw to get yourself there.
Well, here is Carlos Pena, the 9th Tampa Bay hitter to come up in this 8th inning.
And we talked about the 8th inning already, Jim, about how many runs the Orioles have given up. The bullpen has really actually given up in that 8th inning. Now another 4-run inning, and there's still an opportunity to score some more runs.
Joel Guzman comes on to pinch run for Norton. He'll stay in the game defensively. So a little faster runner now at third base. Fly ball can score a run. There's only one down. Breaking ball misses, 1-0. Pena has 1 home run on the night. He's 1 out of 3. Now 31 home runs on the year. Lamone doesn't know where the ball is, and Brian Burris pounces in on it. 1-1.
You know what makes it tough, Jim, for some left-handers to come in and pitch in these situations, like a Brian Burris who doesn't have an overpowering fastball, is the fact, you can watch it right here now, he's going to throw this breaking ball down, and that's his out pitch with a left-hander right here. But what makes it really tough on him is it takes their changeup away, lefty-lefty, because not very many left-handers will throw powerful left-hand hitters a changeup because they pull off and are able to stay on a changeup as opposed to a good hard curveball or a good hard fastball.
1-1 to Pena's inside, ball 2.
Bruce Hurst, a left-handed pitcher for the San Diego Padres and the Boston Red Sox for a long time, was a guy who comes to mind when I say that. Most managers put left-handers in the lineup to face him because he wouldn't throw him a changeup, and then he became very hittable.
Two and one on Pena. There's a strike, 2-2. Tampa Bay has 4 hits in this inning, and there have been 3 walks. A 4-run inning. Tampa Bay has the lead, 7-6. Outside, ball 3. It's interesting that Tampa Bay, the team coming in not very patient, has had a very patient inning. Jim Hoey did not have good command, but a lot of these Burris pitches are just missing. They're 3-2 with 1 down. Ground ball and a base hit in the right field. Guzman will score. Right behind him is Iwamura. The throw comes into second base. It's a 2-run single for Pena, and Tampa Bay now with a 3-run lead. Another disastrous 8th inning for the Orioles. So Hoey retired only 1 batter, and Burris has not retired a batter, and that'll be it for Burris.
We got another look at the fastball. Burris delivers it. It's right down the middle of the plate. He lines it just past Kevin Millar. Gave it his best effort he could. Ball just scooted through the infield way too fast. 2 runners score. Iwamura coming on to score the 2nd run of that base hit.
So Burris leaves, Bradford coming on, and Tampa Bay now in front.
For a limited time, we're offering 0 down, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit. That's right, 0 cash due on delivery on the Volvo XC90, one of the world's most award-winning luxury SUVs. Sign your name and drive away. It's that easy. Our Sign and Drive sales event is the perfect time to go to a Volvo retailer. We know you'll hear the answers you want.
Lease a 2007 Volvo XC90 for $459 a month for 24 months. 0 due at signing.
Turf's Up at Laurel Park as the fall meet opens Wednesday, September 5th with free admission, a free live racing program, and great food and drink specials. Enjoy live thoroughbred racing Wednesday through Saturday with 40% of the races on the turf. Post time 1:10 p.m.
Oh, when it's time to play, and you're looking for some fun. Oh yeah, it's Laurel Park. Fast track to fun. Fast track to fun.
It's wrong to let chicken be bad. At Wendy's, we serve only the tender center cut in our chicken cordon bleu sandwich with Swiss cheese and Black Forest ham, paired with a creamy frosty float. Chicken's good again. That's right.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Baltimore Orioles. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Baltimore Orioles. Thank you for tuning in tonight on Masson. Dave Tremblay trying to figure out any kind of a combination that will work. Jamie Walker had a perfect 7th inning, but Jim Hoey charged with 5 earned runs in a third of an inning. Bradford gets ahead of Upton on 1. 65th appearance for Bradford. Only Jamie Walker has been in more games. Two. Upton started this inning against Jim Hoey with a single to center field. He has been on base 3 times tonight with a couple of hits and a walk. Check swing at a breaking ball and checked in time. Baltimore 30 losses charged to the bullpen. That is the most in the American League, and Tampa Bay right behind them at 26. 2-2. The bullpen has been scored on in each game during the losing streak, plus tonight. It's been a 6-run inning for Tampa Bay, and the Devil Rays now have a 3-run lead. Fouled off as Upton stays alive. Tampa Bay had 5 hits over 7 innings, and they have 5 hits in this inning. Five singles to go with the 3 walks. And Upton fouls it back again to stay alive.
Now they got to find some way to get a ground ball right here. Bradford's been pretty good at getting ground balls all season long. Hasn't given up a home run yet this year. But I still can't figure from that angle why they would want to pitch B.J. Upton inside with that big open stance. We need that ground ball out over the plate, up the middle. So maybe we can get out of this inning without giving up any more runs.
Ground ball up the middle. It won't happen. Here's Crawford to score on the base hit. And it's a 10-6 game. So B.J. Upton has 2 hits in this inning.
Well, we see this pitch again from Bradford from down under. It's just starting to tail inside again. And just gives the hitter too much of an opportunity to get his hands inside and drive the ball or pull the ball through that hole at third base, and he takes it right up the middle, right over the bag at second base.
Delman Young now swings and fouls it back. Young is the only hitter in this inning not to get on base. Hoey struck him out after the leadoff single, and Tampa Bay has not had an out recorded since. 8 consecutive men reaching after that strikeout. And there's another base hit. Runner will be held at third. So Delman Young has a base hit. So every hitter who has come up this inning has reached.
Well, it's very hard for me to understand what we're trying to do here in pitching certain hitters certain ways. Is the way out of the inning is the ground ball, of course. And Bradford just doesn't have a release point that lends me to believe that he's going to make a pitch middle in on these hitters right here and get that double play ball, because they're not pitching in off the plate to jam the hitter. They're pitching in to get strikes, and you've got to throw the ball down the middle if you're going to make it a strike.
Mora goes to third, across to first, not in time, and another run scores. Nice play by Mora. That ball was hit hard, but he wasn't able to get two to end the inning.
You got to see this play again. Melvin goes to his right a little bit. Good backhand. And goes to the bag, gets the force, tries to get the up, but is throwing off the wrong foot and just doesn't get as much velocity as he needs on that ball.
So Harris gets an RBI on the ground out, and it's now 11-6. An 8-run inning for Tampa Bay. And there's a strike to Johnny Gomes. So Jim Hoey charged with 5 runs, Brian Burris with 3 runs. And Johnny Gomes is the 13th hitter to come up in this inning. And the Orioles now trail by 5. Swings through the breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
Well, there's the pitch that you really need to make in this situation, down and away. You've heard Leo Mazzoni talk about it so many times, is commanding your pitches and the strike zone down and away, down and away, down and away. You can show a pitch in this situation in off the plate, so the hitter can't get a chance to pull the ball.
This one looped down the line towards the corner. That's a fair ball. 1 run is in. Second runner coming towards the plate. The throw home. He is safe at the plate. And 2 more runs cross the plate. So Gomes gets a double to drive into, and Tampa Bay now running away with it.
Boy, Jimmy, that's another case of, jeez. You watch this, that Johnny Gomes gets this ball inside the line down there. Now, you know there's going to be a play. The third base coach is really pressing the issue, sending this runner at this time. He gets the ball to Miguel Tejada. Miggy makes a good play home, but Hernandez is just not set up in a position where he's going to tag the runner out. He moves off the plate to catch it. Well, it's a higher throw.
And there's another base hit. Navarro hits it. Gomes coming towards the plate. He will score. It's an 11-run inning.
Is this starting to look like any inning that we've seen lately? Or
Hoey allows 5 runs. Burris allows 3 runs. Bradford has now allowed 3 runs. And here comes Dave Tremblay out for another pitching change. "11 runs in the inning, and it's now 14-6. So Bradford leaves, and Tampa Bay running away as Perkins comes on.
The first sport utility vehicle. The first full-time four-wheel drive. And now, Jeep introduces the industry's first lifetime powertrain warranty. It's the best warranty in the business, and no other car company matches it. So come and check out our largest lineup of Jeep vehicles ever with our exclusive lifetime warranty. Now, well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months on Jeep Commander.
You get just 24 hours every day to work towards your goals. Just 24 hours to get one step closer to your dreams. And at PNC, we're always searching for ways to help. To give you solutions designed to uncomplicate your life. so you can navigate the next 24 hours. PNC, leading the way.
You gotta be here.
For the view.
You gotta be here.
For the what?
For the memories.
This is more than baseball. It's a great time with the family.
For the excitement.
Orioles baseball at Camden Yards. Call 888-848-BIRD.
Here's Kurt Berkins, the new pitcher on, the fourth pitcher used in this inning, trying to stop it. He inherits just a runner on at first base as Tampa Bay has scored 11 runs in this inning. In the 30-3 loss, Texas had a 10-run inning. And here Tampa Bay tonight scores 11 in the 8th. There's a strike to Joel Guzman, who is batting for the first time. He pinch ran for Greg Norton, who pinch hit for Josh Wilson. A little bit low. Berkins just called back today. Paul Shuey designated for assignment. Guzman, just 22 years old, called up on August 19th. There have been 9 hits in this inning. 9 hits, 11 runs, 3 walks. All 3 walks have scored. And one of the walks came with the bases loaded to force in a run. Now 2-2 the count on Guzman. And he got him. So Berkins finally gets the inning over, and the Orioles can head to the bench. Tampa Bay scores 11 runs to take the lead.
I'm on the 415.
Let's see what kind of plane you'll be on today.
Step over there and spin that wheel. Come on.
Come on, big plane.
Woo, big plane, big plane, big plane. Big plane, big plane, big plane. No. Small plane.
On Southwest Airlines, you'll never fly in a small plane. We guarantee every seat on every flight is on a big, comfortable Boeing 737.
You are now free to move about the country.
You do have health insurance, don't you? If you don't, now you're in luck. CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield can cover you for as little as $75 a month, depending on the plan you choose. Just call us at 1-800-294-1960 for the plan that's right for you. Single? Married? Kids? Self-employed? Not covered at work? CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield lets you customize coverage so you have an individual plan that suits you best. Select a PPO or an HMO, add vision or dental. You can design a plan that fits your budget and protects you even as your life changes. Call us at 1-800-294-1960 and get this free information kit. When it comes to protecting your health, you can count on CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call today and get the benefit of blue. Odds are you'll need it.
Orioles Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit southwest.com. Well, another disastrous inning. Joel Guzman, who pinch ran, then got an at-bat. He stays in the game at shortstop. And Gary Glover, Rick, comes on to pitch for Tampa Bay.
Well, Glover, another one of the guys who has been struggling in the bullpen for Tampa Bay. You can see he's got a 5-4 record, but that ERA is up there at 5.2. And he may be one of the better ones there. A lot more hits than innings pitched, and that's the thing that indicates whether you're having a good season or not. Is you want those hits less than the innings.
So the Orioles are down 14-6, trailing by 8. Tejada, Millar, and Huff coming up in the 8th inning. And there's a strike. So Dolman, who came on and worked 1 inning, allowed a run on 3 hits. He's the beneficiary of all that support because right now he's the pitcher of record on the plus side. Tejada fouls it back and it's 0-2. Tejada homered in the first. He has since flied out and popped foul to the catcher. He extends his hitting streak to 5 in a row. And it's his 4th home run on the homestand. High fastball.
You know, when you start 1 inning, Jimmy, and you know you're down 2 runs late, which is something Tampa Bay's been used to, and all of a sudden you've got an 8-run lead in the ball game, it's a whole lot easier to execute these pitches under these circumstances because he's not afraid that he's going to give up a hit in this situation. He's got to throw the ball over the plate, so it's going to be a little bit easier for these guys coming out of the bullpen now with this big a lead.
Well, when this inning began, the Orioles had a 3-run lead. And
it was a 3. I
8.
said 2. Yeah, you're right. It is a 3.
It was 6-3. And Miguel takes high 3-2. And Miguel just trying to get on base. But he fouls it off.
It's just a time now in this situation where you're just going to see nothing but fastballs because the only way to give up an 8-run lead in this situation is to start walking people. But if there's ever a bullpen the Orioles could do it against, it's this one right here because they struggle to get people out at all times.
Tejada to left field. Crawford going back on it. On the warning track at the wall, it's out of here. Tejada has a 2-home run game, and it's 14-7. So do the Orioles have a crooked number inning in them? Good start. Glover got ahead 0-2, couldn't put him away, and Tejada hits it out.
Miggy has been swinging the bat so good, and here he knows he's going to get the fastball. He had a good cut at it on 3-2 and fouled it back, and this one he didn't miss. Another good fastball, and he just deposits it 30 rows deep in the left field seats, and boy, he still continues to swing a hot bat.
Kevin Millar takes high, 1-0.
Going to take another look at this swing, just how perfect it is. Look at perfect weight distribution. He's got that full stretched swing, good extension. Just hits it 9 miles.
Millar to left field. Crawford back on it. At the wall, and that ball is gone. Orioles go back-to-back for the 2nd time in this game. And the Birds making some noise in the 8th. It's 14-8. Orioles have hit 6 home runs in this game. Unfortunately, 5 are solos. Oh, he went up and got it.
A good high fastball. That's right in Kevin Millar's wheelhouse right there. Just put the head of the bat on it because Kevin Millar doesn't take too many fastballs for strikes. And you saw it earlier in the game. It happened, but it wasn't going to happen twice as far as he was concerned. Another home run.
So Glover has come on. He's allowed back-to-back solo homers. Bullpen ERAs, here's what Rick referred to. The highest in the league is 6.23, owned by Tampa, and the Orioles right behind him at 5.61. Still nobody out. Here's Aubrey Huff. High fastball, 1-0. Aubrey has one of the home runs on the night. As he continues to hit well. Home runs allowed in relief, 61 by Tampa Bay. Aubrey Huff hard to right field, but right there is Young. And one out in the 8th inning, and that ball was smoked. Let's head downstairs and welcome in Amber.
Well, the Orioles are chipping away, but wow, what a game. Daniel Cabrera gives them 6 very strong innings, and then in the 8th inning, the bullpen absolutely implodes. 4 relievers, 11 runs, and now we're going to break it all down for you following the game on O's Extra Post-Game Show, brought to you by ChevyFirst.com. Tom and Dave will have all the action. I'm going to have all the reports, and we'll hear from Dave Tremblay what he has to say about this game. That's right here on MASN following the game, where we have all the access you need.
All right, Amber, thank you very much. So 1 down. Aubrey Huff hit that ball hard. Here's Melvin Mora. Outside, ball 2. What the Orioles need to do here is get a few base runners on and increase the pressure on Tampa Bay in the bullpen. There's a strike, 2-1. But Tejada has a 2-home-run game. The Orioles have hit 6 home runs. Inside, ball 3. Well, Melvin with a patient at bat, and that's what you need to do in these spots. You need to be patient.
Well, you're kind of hoping that he'll get real wild now and walk a couple of guys, and then a few more base hits and maybe a home run, and the Orioles will have a chance because this bullpen can't hold very many people. And if we can just kind of somehow turn the momentum on this game, and even down 8 runs, I mean, watch this pitch right here, and it's close down on the outside corner. But, Melvin doesn't get the call right there. It's just one of those perfect pitches that the that the pitcher made right there.
Just got a piece to stay alive. Well, Melvin trying to get on here. 2 runs are in. 14-8 the score. Chopper towards short. Guzman will not have a play, and Melvin Moore has an infield hit. That would have been a close play anyway, but Guzman slipped as he went to plant the foot.
Well, I think the Orioles got a break there, Jimmy. That ball was a really bad pitch down for ball 4, but Melvin bounced this ball off the front of the home plate. And just as the shortstop gets ready to throw at Guzman, he slips and falls, and Melvin's going to get a base hit out of this. So that's a good thing.
So here's Joe Madden out to the mound, and he will go to his bullpen with a runner on as Glover struggles. He faces 4 batters, and the only out he recorded was the line drive by Aubrey Huff to right field. So Glover leaves. Tampa Bay still with a 14-8 lead, but the Orioles trying to make some noise.
It's the final days of Ford's model year clearance. It all ends September 3rd. Just announced, get 0% financing for 60 months or up to $4,007 cash back on F-150. It's your last chance to save big on America's best-selling trucks. Get best-in-class towing and payload. And get 0% for 60 months or up to $4,007 cash back on F-150. Ford's model year clearance ends September 3rd. Visit your local Ford dealer.
There's always something good inside. You just have to find it. And now, find something brand new inside. Introducing the new McSkillet Burrito. Now with steak. Tender, juicy steak seasoned with grilled onions and everything good about breakfast. All inside a warm tortilla.
Nearly 2 centuries of handcrafted beer tradition. 6 generations of family pride. Endless years of taste testing, refining, and perfecting our beer. And it all comes down to this. 1 single bottle of Yuengling Traditional Lager. genuine traditional lager. Taste it, and you'll know.
Well, those fans hopeful. They just saw Tampa Bay score 11 in the top of the 8th. And a long night keeping score in the stands. The Orioles have 2 on the board. And break out the peanuts.
I think she's a little disgusted with this inning now. She's going to start writing names down on that bag.
Here is Juan Salas. The Orioles have 2 runs in. Mora on at first and only 1 down. Salas in his 28th game. 3.14 ERA. Called up on July 24th. Another tough night for Dave Tremblay as the bullpen once again ineffective. It's been a tough homestand. And here's Ramon Hernandez. Snapped his 0 for 26 with a home run in the 7th. Comes up with a man on and 1 down in the 8th. Well, Tampa Bay's rally in the 8th inning started with 1 on and 1 down. There's a strike. The Orioles already have 2 runs in and 1 on with 1 down. Ramon's home run is 6th on the year. Good eye, 1-1.
There's just a lot of similarities, Jim, in some of the pitchers that come in from the bullpens, and mechanically they may not be as strong as they should be, but all they do is just throw the ball up there and fall off to that first base side. It's hard to believe they can watch pitchers like Jeremy Guthrie and Eric Bedard and see how perfect the mechanics are and not try to make adjustments to make themselves better. But Salas looks almost exactly like Daniel Cabrera, the way that he delivers the ball and then falls off. And really what they're doing is they're trying to create a lane for that arm slot to get the ball to home plate in the strike zone, and they're just going about it an entirely wrong way. You got to stay behind the ball to make it move and extend as far as you can. You can't do that delivering the ball like they do.
Ground ball towards the middle, base hit. Ramon Hernandez has a 2-hit night. So the Orioles are trying to chip back. Well, Tampa Bay's rally started innocently, and the Orioles have 2 runs in and 2 on and only 1 down.
What it really actually allows the hitters to do is once you clear out that left side and it's moving towards first base, you give that hitter an opportunity to pick up the ball way before he should be. And that's what allows them to stay on the ball all the way, no matter what you throw. Slider, curveball, fastball. They see it for a lot longer. They can adjust on it a lot better.
Here's Freddie Bynum. And it's low, 1-0. The Orioles have 6 home runs in this game. Freddie is 0 for 3.
He's a stuntman ready to go right here.
Swings through it. The team record for most home runs in a game is 7. Orioles have 6.
Six home runs. You see it tonight for the Orioles. The last 6 home run game on May 28, 1996 up in Seattle.
Good eye by Bynum, 2-1. Aubrey Huff has a home run tonight. Tejada has 2. There are the runners. Mora at second, Ramon Hernandez at first. Ramon not being held, so he's getting an extra step on the lead. 2-2 on Freddie Bynum. Salas is the 4th Tampa Bay pitcher. The Orioles have already used 6 pitchers in this game.
Wow. I know. I would just say we were looking at Aubrey Huff in the bullpen, in the dugout there a minute ago, and Kurt Berkins was sitting there. You could tell he was doing the math. How much longer do I have to stay in this game before I can possibly get the win? 3 more outs and 7 more runs.
Hard hit ball. What a play by Iwamura. Steps on the bag, throws to first, not in time to double up Freddie Bynum, and Iwamura may have just saved the inning for Tampa Bay.
Boy, what a great play that he made. There's a reason why this guy was a Golden Glove player over in Japan. Watch this play. Freddie Bynum absolutely scorches this ball to his right. And look at the range. He gets up, steps on the bag. Freddie Bynum just has too much speed, beats it out at first base, but what a great play.
Instead of that ball heading to the corner, a run in and 2 men on. It's a force play at third, and it's the 2nd out of the inning.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind if Iwamura doesn't catch that ball, it gets down in the corner for an RBI and a double, so that would put runners at 2nd and 3rd. And still only 1 out for the Orioles, and another opportunity to really cut the 6 runs in half.
Well, Tampa Bay has just 1 left-hander in the bullpen, and he's about to come on. John Switzer coming on, 2 on, 2 down in the 8th.
I'm on the 415.
Let's see what kind of plane you'll be on today.
Step over there and spin that wheel. Come on.
Come on, big plane.
Woo, big plane, big plane, big plane. Big plane, big plane, big plane. No. Small plane.
On Southwest Airlines, you'll never fly in a small plane. We guarantee every seat on every flight is on a big, comfortable Boeing 737.
You are now free to move about the country.
It's the Chevy Model Year-End event, where you'll find the best offer ever on the all-new Silverado. 0% APR for 60 months on Silverado half-ton extended and crew cabs for well-qualified buyers. Just click and go to Chevy.com to find the Silverado you want. Then get to your Chevy dealer before it's gone. That's right. Well-qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 60 months on 07 Silverado half-ton extended and crew cab models. Click on Chevy.com. Then see your Baltimore area Chevy dealer.
You gotta be here. For the view.
You gotta be here.
For the one.
For the memories.
This is more than baseball. It's a great time with the family.
For the excitement.
Orioles baseball at Camden Yards. Call 888-848-BIRD.
Well, the scoreboard tells the story. The Orioles had a 6-3 lead going to the 8th, and then 11 runs for Tampa Bay. Birds have 2 back here in the bottom half, 14-8. And here's John Switzer coming on to flip Brian Roberts over to the other side. He'll bat right with Patterson and Markakis to follow. Switzer has had a tough time in the big leagues. He was called back on August 7th. This is his 2nd tour with Tampa Bay on the year. In 5 appearances since coming back, he's allowed 7 runs in 7 1/3 innings. Iwamura, however, may have saved the inning with that play at third on the ball hit by Bynum.
Boy, he really did. What an outstanding play that was, and showed a lot of range, and that's really what saved him in that whole inning.
So Brian Roberts trying to keep it going. Hernandez at second, Bynum at first with 2 down.
Not that there's a big difference, Jim, but I think, people might wonder why they bring the left-hander in to switch Brian around to hit right-handed, is because he's a lot better hitter, a 324 hitter left-handed and a 270 hitter. But Brian has certainly hit the ball right-handed a lot better this year than he ever has. But everybody takes their chances with Brian hitting right-handed. Plus, it gives you another step out of the batter's box. So in the case of a ground ball, they can turn a double play. They don't need it here with 2 outs, but that's another reason why they might do it.
Well, Brian gets so many more at-bats as a left-handed batter. And the other factor, not knowing if Joe Madden had this in mind, but 9 of his 10 home runs have come batting left-handed. So a long ball here would make it 14-11. So if he's going to hit it out, Madden would prefer it come from the side that he has had less success. A 1-2 the count on him. Strike 3 called. Switzer comes on, gets Roberts, and the inning ends. So the Orioles make it interesting. They scored 2, get 2 more hits, and we'll go to the 9th, 14-8 Tampa Bay.
It takes a certain kind of person to appreciate this level of performance and technology. We like to call them Type A's. Don't miss the Acura chance to advance sales opportunity. Acura. Advance.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on 2007 Acura models for well-qualified customers.
Some people call it preseason. Some call them exhibition games. Tell that to the wide receiver who just got knocked end over end.
This ain't no party. This ain't no disco. This ain't no fooling around.
The Ravens take on Joe Horn and the Falcons. Be there Friday at 7. Ravens preseason on Masson. This ain't no fooling around.
In 1899, after issuing over 600,000 patents, the United States Patent Office said, everything that can be invented already has been. Here we are, 100 years and millions of patents later. Hi, I'm Bob Sousa of InventHelp. If you have an idea or just an improvement to an existing product, call the InventHelp people. We've helped over 10,000 inventors get patents through our low-cost patent referral program. So don't wait. Give us a call today. There's no obligation, and we're here to help.
Well, the AT&T Player of the Game, as decided by our viewers, is Nick Markakis. Gets 62% of the vote. Text in your vote every game. Vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Standard text message rates apply, and it's open to all carriers. Of course, we asked you to vote in before the top of the 8th. Tejada, since it is second home run. Iwamura will lead off, and Birkin stays on. So the Orioles trail by 6 as we head to the 9th.
What does it seem like? Akinora's hit every inning, or what?
Tampa Bay sent 16 men to the plate. Curveball's high. Excuse me, 15 men to the plate in the 8th inning. And this is his 6th plate appearance. There's a strike 1 and 2. So they sent 15 men. The Orioles sent 7. And the 8th inning took 1 hour, 1 minute, and 46 seconds to play.
Oh, not bad.
Mora down the line, runs out of room.
Did we have a time on the innings with Texas last week?
If they did, I don't recall. But Kevin Behan just made an announcement between innings. 1 hour, 1 minute, and 46 seconds for the 8th inning here tonight.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't have anywhere to go tonight. If the Orioles want to tie it up, I'll stay here and watch.
Absolutely. Outside with a fastball, 2-2. The Orioles in the 9th will have Patterson, Markakis, and Tejada coming up. Ground ball, there's a base hit down the line. Markakis has to come all the way over into the corner, and Iwamura has a double. So Perkins gives up a hit. He struck out Guzman to end the 8th inning. Rob Bell, Danny Baez, the only 2 relievers left in the Oriole pen. Iwamura has a 2-hit game. Here's Carl Crawford. Crawford had an RBI single in the 8th inning rally. He has 2 RBI singles on the night. Ball too low. Cabrera went 6 innings. He allowed 3 runs on 5 hits, left with a lead. He left with a 6-3 lead. Jamie Walker pitched a perfect 7th, 3 up, 3 down. And that one gets away from Ramon Hernandez. Iwamura will go to third. There's a wild pitch charge to Berkins.
Well, now you can see just how important it is to have a pitcher like Danny Cabrera be able to get to that 6th inning, you know, with 85 pitches, so that you can extend yourself into the 7th, 8th inning and not have to rely on the bullpen. You know, because we've given up so many games this year out of the bullpen that it's really demoralizing, depressing, you name it, to have so many good starts and adequate starts that should end up in wins for the Orioles and don't.
Broken back ground ball. Berkins knocks it down. A run will score. The flip to first in time to get Crawford, but Tampa Bay adds a run. It's now 15-8. Iwamura was going in contact. Berkins knocked it down, and when the ball squirted behind the mound, Iwamura able to score.
You can see this right here. It's a matter of feeling your position. He just doesn't stay down on the ball, and Iwamura, who was going, he would have had the easy out at home plate. Now he's forced to throw the ball to first, but he gives up an RBI. He just didn't stay down on that ball.
Well, the base is empty. Run in. Here's Carlos Pena. 15-8. Tampa Bay has the lead. Ball 1. But Crawford now has a 3 RBI night. Pena has a 3 RBI night. Just swung through ball 2. 1-1 the count.
Well, one of the things I used to hate so much about games like this, because, you know, you catch 1,700 games like I did, you're going to have a few bad ones. But, boy, when things started to get sloppy and you have wild pitches and pass balls and games like this, and it just it makes the ball club look so bad. Makes everything look so bad. But you just, you know, you tough your way through this game and do still try to keep it in your mind. You have to do the little things to keep from throwing wild pitches. You got to block balls and throw people out still and try to keep a balance at least.
Foul back, 1-2. Of course, what the Orioles are looking for is they're just looking for a win just to end this streak and feel better about it. And then they can come back the following day with a chance to actually win back-to-back games, and that's how you try to build some momentum the other way. Dave Tremblay has been hopeful of that since last Wednesday. Hanging breaking ball fouled off.
Well, we talked about it in the pregame show. The anatomy of a losing streak is just where all facets of the game start to crumble, and then sometimes you'll have, you know, a pitcher give you a good outing, but the defense won't be there, and then sometimes the defense will play well and the offense won't hit, and you'll lose a ball game 2-1 or 1-0. So it's just a scenario where your offense, your defense, and your pitching has to work together all the time. You've got to get used to that.
Well, Pena called out on strike. Second strikeout for Kurt Berkins, and 2 men down.
We had another look at that pitch again. Berkins makes right here. It just catches the inside corner. Might have been one of those pitches where Pena knows it's at that point in the ball game where you got to start swinging at something that may be a little bit out of the zone, because the umpire is going to favor the losing ball club at this time, and right now it's the Orioles.
B.J. Upton up. Fouls it off. Well, the bullpen during this losing streak now has had a 6-run inning, a 9-run inning, a 10-run inning, and an 11-run inning. With the 11-run inning here tonight. That's a tough week.
Well, you know, but there's been a lot more bad innings in there too, late like that too, where it was 2 runs and 3 runs, and you know, might not have been the 6, the 8, the 9, the 11, but 2 and 3 can bury you too when you're already down 2 or 3.
Ball strike 3, breaking ball. So Berkins comes back, keeps it to a 1-run inning. Here we go. Bottom of the ninth coming up. 15-8 Tampa Bay.
Everybody likes finding a better way to do something. A way that's smarter. And PNC can show you better ways to help manage your business. Like remote deposit, which allows you to deposit checks from your business so you can better manage your cash flow and achieve your goals for the future. PNC, leading the way.
So what's the Rabbit got that the Civic doesn't?
About 20 more features.
Is it an MP3 jack?
Yep. You've got power locks, air conditioning, four-wheel disc. Start it again.
When you get into a Volkswagen, it gets into you.
Right now, during the Get Into a Volkswagen Summer Drive, get 0% APR on select 2007 models.
Whenever an Orioles pitcher records a strikeout this season, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield will make a $25 donation to the YMCA of Central Maryland's Why Healthy Kids program. Congratulations to Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield on the K's for Kids program. 13 strikeouts in the game tonight. The Orioles come to bat in the bottom of the ninth. Here's the closer on Al Reyes, one-time Oriole. And this is not a save situation, but after all that's gone on in this game, Joe Madden just wants Reyes to get through and get Tampa Bay a win in the opener in this series. It's a 7-run lead. So each team has used 6 pitchers in this game. Oh, the Nationals are now underway. Los Angeles against the Dodgers. They're over on Masson 2 if you're looking for the Nats. Nationals on a road trip, and they find themselves in Los Angeles, where the Dodgers are trying to stay in that race in the NL West. 5.5 out. There's Corey Patterson leading off. And he takes high, 1-0. Corey's had another good night. 2 for 4.
He's been very consistent since the All-Star break, and raising his batting average 70 points, just doing a really a good job at getting better pitches to hit, staying on top of the ball, bunting once in a while. Well, when he makes a good bunt, there's just nobody that can catch up with him. He's got outstanding speed, probably the best speed of anybody in baseball.
He has 13 hits on the homestand. 1-1 the count. There's a strike, 1-2. Now Reyes has found the home. He has 20 saves on the year. Throwing foul back. He had 3 saves last year. But because of a necessity of somebody to have to step in and then success, he kept getting the baseball and he kept getting outs and he kept getting saves.
Very tough to do when you don't get that many opportunities to save ball games on a ball club that doesn't have very many wins.
Fouls it back. 1-2 the count holds. So 1-2 strikes on Patterson, leading off in the Oriole ninth. Orioles need base runners. They're down by 7 runs here in the bottom of the ninth. And he's down on strikes. Swung at a pitch outside. So Reyes gets the strikeout, 1 away in the ninth inning. Just a bit over anxious there that time, trying to get on base.
The Orioles working on a 3-hour and almost 40-minute ball game at this point. So you know the umpires aren't going to be giving you close calls here if you're the batter.
Markakis takes a strike. Nick's had a good night. Now has 14 home runs. And with his 3 RBI night, also has an RBI single with his 2-run home run. 83 ribbies on the year. Fouls it back 0-2.
Nice to see that Nick has maintained a degree of consistency all season long. That's what you like to see in players. And I'm sure he's going to get better after he learns the whole league and interleague, during interleague play. He's just he's hit .290 all season long, it seems like, and just done a very good job in the outfield.
Strike 3 call, breaking ball in the outside corner, 2 men down. So the close pitch going the way of Al Reyes. Well, that was only about a foot outside.
Yeah, you know, we said it earlier, in these kind of ball games now, the umpires are going to expand the strike zone to try to get this game over with. So you got to swing the bat if you're going to get any hits here, because you're not going to get close pitches in these kind of games.
Outside 1-0. Tejada, the Orioles' last hope, takes a strike, 1-1 the count. Miggy 2 hits, they're both home runs. He's now hitting 5 straight games, and he has 5 home runs on this homestand, and 9 home runs in August. High pop-up out behind second base. Brendan Harris was there. He has it for the out. And the losing streak is now 7 consecutive games. So Tampa Bay, with an 11-run 8th inning, gets the opener as Tampa Bay wins it by a final of 15-8. Well, join us again tomorrow. More O's action. Middle game of the series, Steve Traxel against James Shields. Coverage on MASN begins at 6:30 with O's Extra, presented by Chrysler Jeep Dodge, followed by game coverage at 7 o'clock. And now for Rick Dempsey and Amber Theo Harris, Jim Hunter saying so long from Camden Yards. Tampa Bay wins it 15-8. Tonight's telecast, a presentation of the Mid-Atlantic Sports Network. Now Tom Davis, Dave Johnson, O's Extra, presented by ChevyFirst.com.